Hello everyone, welcome to round 15 out of 21. Of course, we are revisiting Spain, aren't we, here tonight after Codemasters decided to shut us down a couple of weeks ago, but we're back up and running, and it's going to make my life much easier, because then I can go back to the numbers of what I was normally meant to be on. So yeah, we are here in Spain. Of course, we wasn't meant to be racing this week, was we? We was meant to be putting our feet up and enjoying the afternoon sunshine, or as much as we can, of course, with all this lockdown stuff and all that kind of jazz going on. But yes, we are here in Catalunya for the in Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. I remember silver and bronze had a fabulous race, didn't they? Really good stuff indeed there. But here tonight we are expecting much of the same from gold there. But here we go then. But here we go then, and we are now into qualifying one then, as I quickly get the old telemetry up, and we'll be ready to get going in just a few moments there. We got 19 cars in this session, but unfortunately Farf has been given a full qualifying ban for being a naughty boy back in Abu Dhabi last week, so he's going to have to sit this one out. We've also got a couple of debutants as well in this field. Let's talk about the first one, who is a full-timer, and that is Pains, who is replacing excuse us, apologies, Twan, is replacing Twan now. So Payne's will be in the Renault there for the remainder of the season. We've also got a very unknown driver in the terms of Knowlesy, who normally is behind the scenes as well, but he's decided to become a racer to this afternoon as well. Of course, Knowlesy has been in Season 1 and Season 2 before, and he's now officially taken part in every single season in ALR history. Fantastic stuff as well. Of course, Knowlesy has 18 starts in his ALR career, 2 pole positions, 7 podiums, 3 fastest laps. He's had a driver today as well, and in total of 151 points he has scored in his time in ALR. So he is definitely going to come in and very much boost what's going on with the Renault team, because they've had an absolute appalling season, haven't they? Renault have, so hopefully they can climb themselves back up in the constructors. And talking constructors, let's go through the drivers and constructors as well. No, before I do, we've also got to talk about another debutant as well. Of course, Paynes did make his debut back in silver, I think, earlier on this season. But this is his first time he's raced in gold. And we've also got Scorpa as well, who is also driving in a Toro Rosso in place of Dan Murphy here this afternoon. So it'd be good to see what he can do as well in the old Toro Rosso there. In the Drivers' Championship, shall we go through that a bit quick? It's now a 46-point gap between Granty and Emerson, as Granty has now had a hat-trick of wins. He's been fantastic in the last 3 races. He's been unbeatable so far. Emerson now needs to respond there, with only 130 points up for grabs still in the final 5 races then. Nigel is still technically in the hunt there as well, in 3rd position, but after that is it. Only those 3 can win the championship now, with unfortunately Jonathan is outside of the threshold now, so he cannot be champion. He's 4th then. Murphy is in 5th position. Fireshot, good race last time out. He has moved out 2 positions and in 6th position now, with Echo and Lights dropping down 1 position each, and Farf in 9th position, and Steve is in 10th position as well. I think Sam has actually climbed out the relegation zone now, and he's in 17th position, so well done to Sam there. But Mumford is also strengthened his hold on the gold division, as he is now he's now 10 points in front of Sam. So good stuff indeed then. In the constructors then, Williams are now 32 points in front, but Williams has only got 1 representative here tonight in the form of the championship leader. Mercedes the second have 32 points further back. Racing Point are 3rd, and the exact same number as Mercedes are behind Williams as they are behind Mercedes. So yeah, it's getting very tight at the top there, isn't it? It's very tight in the constructors, because Alfa Romeo only 38 points back from Racing Point. Toro Rosso only 34 points back away from Alfa Romeo. Lovely stuff indeed then. Haas are 49 points behind Toro Rosso. Red Bull 7th position then. It's very nip and tuck after that, because Renault is 17 points behind Red Bull. Maybe the inclusion of Paynes and Knowlesy might swing that their ways. Far fast retired from the session, unfortunately. Vesey is the first one out on track currently. Ferrari are 7 points back from Renault. They're in 9th position, and McLaren are in the top 10, because there's only 10 teams in ALR at the moment, and in Formula 1 in general, which is a shame really. I want 13 teams, but unfortunately I can never get what I want now, so I'm just going to cross my arms and sulk. So we got 14 minutes in the session remaining then. So of course, as we said, Farf is the first one out of qualifying after he was after his adventures in Abu Dhabi, shall we say. On board with Vez at the moment, and he is in the race. Of course, he returns, didn't he? I think it was back in Mexico. A fantastic return. Oh goodness me, no, but he's having more than a turn now. He is spinning right around, and he's done a 300 360-degree spin there, coming out of turn 8 then, and he is just reversed now. Payne's there, making his full debut for gold there, and he has gone fast mode. He's done an 18.6 there for the Renault team. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Laggy Racer, as we're just watching Vezzy trying to get himself back in there. Laggy Racer is also making a return as well. Laggy Racer has also been in ALR before. Let's just we could go through Laggy Racer's stats, shall we? Laggy Racer, of course, made his debut back in Bahrain Season 2. He's had 21 starts so far in ALR there, and he's also had a Driver of the Day award as well. Fantastic stuff for Laggy Racer then. Of course, when he does, and in total in his career, he has scored 35 points then. When he scores highly, but he needs to get to the checker flag a bit more. But let's see what he can do then after his break then from ALR, and we'll see how he has morphed into a driver there as well. Morphed, blimey, if I've been watching Mike Moore from Power Rangers. Here comes Mr. Lee coming through the final turn as well, then in turn, and he goes up into second fast mode just behind Payne's there. Payne's there making his debut. Fantastic stuff so far. He is top of the time sheets at the moment. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And Payne's there is a second down then, but I think he is coming into the pits then. I think Scorpa, I'm struggling with the name already. Scorpa there is currently full position. Vezzy is going to go have another older crack at the whip as well. Here comes Sam. That's what I said. He's out of the relegation zone now. Sam, can he push on there and keep his seat in on Sunday nights? That is the question. That's what the guys at the bottom are fighting for at the moment. He comes up to the line, and what does Sam does? He goes second fastest. Sam is very vastly improved driver from last season to this season. He's been really good, hasn't he, Sam has? And I see you're all commenting in the old comment section. I will get to you in just a jiffy. Matt is just starting stuff. So of course, Matt has announced earlier on and a couple of weeks ago that this will be his he'll be stepping aside in ALR next season, which is such a shame. Of course, Matt has been almost ever present in all the seasons so far. I think he took a season out in season 2, didn't he? But his return this season, I think he's had an up and down season in ALR, hasn't he? Matt has. So we got a yellow flag fluttering around. I think it's Vezzy. They're just trying to get out of the way. So Matt's had an up and down season in ALR this season, but of course we do. Oh no! Oh goodness me! He's just about kept on the wall. Wow, how, sir? I think he's damaged the end plate, but he is very lucky there not to damage anything else on the car. So good save out from that then. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Sam is retired. Oh my goodness me, Sam is only retired. He has had a big smash there at turn 9, and Sam was very much on a high coming into this qualifying. Wow, that is a big smash as well. That's coming out of turn 9. That's a vol load smash as well, but and that looks like some force there on the old McLaren there. So Sam is the latest retirement here at the Spanish Grand Prix. What a shame indeed it is. Thank you, Susie Harrison, for subscribing. So loving that. So I think we're up to 173 subscribers. Brilliant stuff indeed. That, goodness me. We're actually we're almost at 200. Goodness gracious me. Here comes Brandon, who is just starting the lap now. Matt there, who would I think he's come back in the pits. I think because he's had he's had an excursion somewhere, so Matt will be back in the pits now. We got a Ferrari out on track as well, and the sun is actually bursting through my window, and I can see my stupid face now reflected on the TV, which is not very good, is it? So I might have to get up and adjust the Odo curtains in a minute. Of course, gingers don't like to be in the sun for very long, so I better eradicate that problem quite quickly. Let's go to the comments, Charles. We're on board Tanti, of course. Tanti made a full seat debut last week, and I think he did a very good job. He did a fantastic job. Tanti did. He got 4 points right off the bounce there. Of course, that was his second race start in season 3, and his first one for Ferrari, and he got some points off the bat. Beautiful stuff indeed. Jonathan Cox, good evening, Sean. Good evening, Jonathan. Hope you're well. We got Mumford evening. We also got Emerson. Hello. F1 League. Why did they shut you down? I have no right. I think it was something to do with they was having a Williams event or something, wasn't it? I think I was for some reason we just couldn't get into the session, and we wasn't allowed to invite anyone, which was very rude as well. Ironically, when that session finished, I think it was the Challenge Williams Esports thing, wasn't it, with George Russell and Latifi. But once that did finish, everyone was able to go back on. Just a conspiracy theory from me. Mr. Young Lights, good evening, Shauna. Hello, Mr. Young Lights. Hope you are. Laggy Racer, it's race time. Indeed it is, Laggy. Indeed it is. Brandon coming up to the lines. Right, he goes second fastest. Emerson is currently the measuring stick of the some field so far. Good stuff indeed then. And now it's starting to really get into the thick of action, isn't it? Jonathan there is invalidated. He's going to have to go around again. Jonathan, of course, the most successful qualifier in gold history so far, with 9 pole positions to his name. Brilliant. 17 fire shot there, wrestling the car. He's had a pole position in his career so far as now. I think he had one in Russia, didn't he? He also won in France. So fire shot has gone second fast at the moment to 3/10 of a second away from Emerson at the moment, and Emerson starting off the event quite nicely indeed. What about Mumford? Then Mumford is just started off. So is Jonathan. Let's keep him on. Jonathan then, as I said, the record holder of pole positions there for Jonathan then, and he has done the 21.7 there in the first sector. Beautiful done as well. Granty with a lovely dab, by the way, which, oh, Jonathan has lost it. That's more than a dab. He's in the wall. Oh dear, that has damaged the car. So Jonathan there's only got 8 minutes to get back to the pits. Oh goodness, and there's a Haas coming out there as well. It's a very difficult place to recover the car. No, that's a Ferrari. Oh my goodness me, and the Ferrari has to take a phase of action, and Tansy is out of qualifying. Oh dear, Tansy is out of qualifying. Jonathan there, I think, got a bit impatient trying to get back on the circuit, and Tansy is out. That is not good at all. We've lost both Ferraris in this session, and that is oh dear. Unfortunately, Jonathan couldn't wait to get back on the circuit there, and that's hurt Tansy in a big old way as well. So he is out of qualifying. That's a major problem indeed. Then Jonathan has come in, is just finished off his lap. He's going to have to come back in the pits. He's only got 8 minutes to get in the session, get in the pits and come back out. And oh goodness me, here comes Mumford current to line as well. DRS isn't available. He is now 5th fastest moment. Mercedes then in the constructors. This is going to be very interesting. Williams have only got one representative in the champion, Granty, and he's invalidated this time as well. Well, the Spanish Grand Prix has really thrown up some curveballs already. I'm loving this. Oh, Nigel! My goodness me, they're going right on the outside of the curve there. Jonathan to the pits there. Vesey is also starting to stop as well. I'm just seeing who is the farthest man round. I think it is this man here. It's Matt then, who is just coming out of turn 5 as well. Granty there giving me a good old dub there and saying, hello my husband, how are you? I'm very well, Granty, how are you, my darling wife? As we're coming out of turn 8 as well, we've also got Jonathan confirming it's a dry race, and so as Mr. Lights as well. So fantastic stuff there, you guys. Very much. I do love to know what the weather is, because I want to know what to wear and what to pack then, so I don't have to wear don't have to pack me on Broad's Day. Well, technically I do then, because I don't want to get sunburnt, of course. We got Brandon saying, evening show. Good evening, Brandon. Hope you are. Got Laggy Racer saying he's got a DRS failure. Oh goodness me, that's not good at all there for Laggy Racer, is it? Hopefully that DRS, hopefully the Alfa Romeo. Remember, he's making his debut for the Alfa Romeo here tonight. Hopefully, as I think it was in the Mercedes at the beginning of the season, can hopefully the Alfa Romeo can get that going, and he'll be back on it. Nigel goes third fastest in the racing point as well. Far shots retired from the session. Granty's invalidated. Someone's got to go around again. Then I'm sure Vesley's out on track as well. He is indeed. Then Vesley coming out now, then Tail getting very happy then through the final turn, and whoa, look at that incredible stuff. He comes over to the line. Where is he? He's only 9 fastest Vesley at the moment. That's a very interesting dynamic. Granty leading the championship. He is the defending champion as well. I think his defense this season has been incredible, hasn't it? Remember last season he won 3 races last season. This season he has been incredible, hasn't he? And now he's coming through the first sector as well. Let's see what he does then. He's a 10th of a second down on Nigel's time in the first sector, so that's an interesting yardstick, isn't it? So just for the DRS line, Laggy Race had a DRS failure. Mumford saying we'll have 11 teams in my team then. We've also got Susie Harrison. Come on, Granty boy. We have also got Mumford. Very nice first up from Vesley. We've also got Granford saying thank you, Sui, and we've also lovely stuff there. We've also got Sam saying wow, Jono, we're really John, and of course Tansy not in too happy with that either. But Jono, apologies, didn't see you there. So yeah, unfortunately Jonathan didn't see what happened there, and so that is just unfortunate there. Really, a yellow flag in the turn 10 area of the lap. Then Grant is there navigating the Mickey Mouse chicane, coming through the final corner now as well. Let's see what he's going to do. He comes up to the line, and he goes second fastest. And Grant that's only a 10th of a second away from his championship rival. It's been the story of the season so far, isn't it? And here comes Nolsey then, who's well, it looks like that he's come back in the pits at the moment. Jonathan's back out on track at the moment then. And we're on board with Scorpio at the moment then, who is also on track as well. So Jonathan starting us up. C also starting us up. So Nolsey is currently chinning in the pits at the moment. So we're on board Jonathan then. He is the king of qualifying at the moment there, but unfortunately he's got a bit of pressure on him now with just under 4 3/4 minutes to go in this session as well then. As we got Nunda saying, who's leading gold? At the moment, it is Granty who is leading the gold at the moment. He's been fantastic. He's got a 32... No, that's the constructors. I apologise. He has got a 46-point advantage over Emerson, who's second, and an 84-point advantage over Nigel third. Those are the only three... Oh, and Jonathan's off the track again there. He's really struggling with the setup of this car, isn't he? And Jonathan is at the stage of the session now. I'm not sure what's going on with Jonathan at the moment. Steve is also invited this time. What about Scorpio? The debut then. And here he is then coming into turn 6 as well. Yeah, Jonathan is really struggling at this moment in time, isn't he? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. So hopefully, hopefully then. Yeah, hopefully Jonathan can get himself together then as well. So that's who's leading gold. And we've got Brandon again. I'm going to say it. Sean for Paul again there, of course. Brandon's the only man that believes in me in this world. So, but I got Sam's left the session now. Hopefully Sam can get back in soon. And of course, unfortunately, he is out of this qualifying session. Grant is retired from the session round, but don't worry, he's chilling in the pits then. But that's hopefully Sam getting before the race starts. Of course, otherwise he will not be able to take part in this. I remember he is only I think he is only 3 points away from the drop zone at the moment, isn't he? Here comes Scorpio there coming through the final turn as well. He's coming into qualifying, but he wants to just finish off with that. Knowles back out on track as well. And here comes Scorpio coming to the line then, and he improved by 8 tenths of a second there. He is just a 9 tenths of a second away. Then Jonathan on track. C is also improving, and here comes Knowles as well. And Knowles making a return in the ALR season 3. So good stuff to see Knowles in here as well. Jonathan Canny is it third time's the charm. He's really struggled at this stage, hasn't he? He's done 21.7. My goodness me, when he's on track he is quick, isn't he? As we've also got Sam. Quali was going well because I practiced a lot and the game just glitched there. Oh dear, that's not going to talk. What's good, Chris 94? Sam, what are you playing at? Come on, lad. So it's oh gosh, that's a very good fired up there message, isn't it? I love it. Good stuff indeed there. So, we've got 4 likes. Thank you all, guys. I love giving everyone. I love it when we all get a good old thumbs up, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. And Jonathan is a 51-0 in the second sector as well then, and now he's coming out of turn 10 as well. Of course, they did a lot of track modifications around here back in 2006, didn't it? Well, 2007, I should say. And I think it was very unpopular, wasn't it? Of course, adding this Mickey Mouse chicane here. Turn 13 to 14 there with the 2 flat-out right-handers. Anders, let me put my teeth back in. Was absolutely brilliant stuff, wasn't it? I've got to say, I missed those 2 corners there. If you got it wrong, you got it wrong in a big old way as well. Jonathan has sorted himself in the third position. Steve is currently in the drop zone, so is Naughty as well. So here comes, we've got 2 minutes to go in this session then, and oh god, sorry, I just knocked off my old chat there. That's not good, is it? No, anyway, then going through the final turn then, here comes Steve, and he's coming to the line, and he is currently in 10th position at the moment. Good stuff indeed there. Scorpio's back on track at the moment. He is in the drop zone at the moment. Scorpio is close to E, and Sam is retired from the session. Will be able to get through. Can Scorpio improve his time then? So it's between Scorpio and oh, Nosy there. Goodness me, there almost used the track, and then Sam on board then with the forward pole sitter there, and he is coming down then into turn 10 as well. Car 94 in the black and yellow Renault, and we're on board over the shoulder with Nosy as well there. The black helmet there, very traditional now as well, isn't there? And now he is coming up then to the Mickey Mouse chicane as well then, and look at that, very smooth there. Look at that, smooth as silk there from Nosy. Accelerating out, coming into turn 6 as well. Oh, getting very waggy there. A very looks like a dog wagging his tail then. He comes up to the line, he goes 10 faster just behind his teammate Payne there as well. Scorpa is got Scorpa, sorry, I'm going to call it Scooper at the minute, aren't I? Scorpa is coming up there, and he's got about a minute to go then. So Matt is also in the drop zone as well, so Matt needs to improve. Our on board Matt, he's in turn 10 at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. And so just watching there, Darren saying good evening, good evening Darren. Got one for a decent Q1, very good stuff indeed there. Sam saying Chris, the game lagged out, ended up in the wall, not sure why, but I was 400s up there, and what a shame then. Chris also wishing Sam good luck in the race then. Laggy, you saying what a lap there, P6, good luck there from Laggy Racer, right in the mix there, isn't it? Alfa Romeo got a very strong team, aren't they? Matt is back in qualifying too, good stuff indeed. So Vezius out of qualifying, my goodness me, that's a huge shot there. Sam's back in qualifying, but he's out of qualifying, if that makes sense. We have lost Scorpa and Vesely, and we have also lost both Ferraris. Both Ferraris are 18th and 19th in this session. Goodness me, of course, Farfar will be 18th, Tansy is 19th, Scorpa out of this qualifying session, and we've also lost Vesely as well. Vesely, that's a big old shock, isn't it? Oh, lovely shot here. It's he's coming back into the pit lane as well. Good stuff indeed then from Nigel. Yeah, absolutely shocking indeed then. Of course, all you just rain the comments in, aren't you? Quite shocked shocked to see that. What about Emerson at the moment then? So we've got Matt then, who's a 10th for second up still then, so he's still going for gold, Matt is. We're on board out of turn 9 as well. That is where the tricky part of the lap is, isn't it? He knocked the DRS on and off there, Matt did. And that might have just cost him a few tenths per second. Sorry, a few thousandths of a second, I should say there. Car 14, Matt is at accelerating that then. Matt used to have the car 4, didn't he? I think before Lando Norris stole it, didn't he? Anyway, he's coming out. Was it car 4? I think it was, wasn't it? But anyway, or was it? I think it was, wasn't it? But anyway, Matt then is, I think, cruising back into the pits as well. So that's a shock in and of itself, isn't it? We've got Laggy Racer, what lap out to P6 and High Gaming and damn, you need a job doing this. So I think, was he talking about Emerson there? I got to say, Emerson, I think that's a very good job, doesn't he? He's currently fast, but good stuff indeed there. We've also got Vesey out there, incredible, isn't it, that Vesey's out. We've also got Sam, whoa, why is Vesey out? He's fast there. Probably just the roll of the dice, isn't it? I think good at all. And Paynes, hello, my debut, hopefully a good one as well. Good to have you along with us, Paynes there. And I would say that's a very good start as well there. 10th for second in front of the very experienced Nosey in the same car. Beautiful stuff indeed then. So then, let's just take stock, shall we? So I've already got a glistening bit of sweat on my old brow here, so that ain't good at all. I probably should have thought about my attire before coming on here tonight. Anyway, here comes Mr. Lee. He's 6 fast about. Good stuff there from Mr. Lee. Lovely stuff indeed, actually. Brilliant. Anyway then, so out of qualifying, unfortunately, both Ferraris, and that's far from tancy. They just bit the dust then. Of course, Ferrari got a good old battle in the constructors, haven't they? And where they're going to finish then, of course, the constructors may not be important for a lot of people, but it's definitely important to me. I love it. We've also got Scorpio out of qualifying as well in 70th position, and Vesely also out of qualifying as well. That is the huge surprise to see Vesely out, isn't it? That is, I'm not sure what I'm the Vesely there. We was monitoring a bit of his progress, but there was so much action in that first qualifying session. It really was, wasn't it? Of course, let's just have a quick review, shall we? Unfortunately, Tansy out then after taking evasive action when Jonathan came back on the track there. Of course, Jonathan admitted in the comments area he was unsighted there, so Tansy had to take evasive action there and damage the car. Farford got a qualifying ban there for being a naughty boy. We've also got Scorpio out, Vesely out of qualifying, and so is Sam as well. I'm sure that something's telling me that Vesely's got a qualifying ban, which I think he has actually. But even if he does have a qualifying ban, a Q2 ban, he needs to get into Q2 to serve it, if I'm not very much mistaken. And Sam, unfortunately, was looking very good, but he looks like he glitched into the barrier and damaged his car beyond repair, which means he'll be out qualified. Remember, if you do not get back to the pit lane, that's it, you're done and dusted. There are no T cars in this sport anymore. So that's unfortunate for Sam, because in the old days, 1998, 1999, you would have just run back in a borrowed Mr. Elite's car, wouldn't you? But of course, you can't do that anymore, can you? Or you would have gone into the T car. I doubt the drivers would do that these days anyway. It's very competitive in Formula 1, isn't it? It was quite competitive back in the old days as well, but you would never hear a teammate give up their car. I think didn't Sterling Moss give up his car 1 year as well, didn't he? One race, I should say. Sam, absolutely gutted there. Did a 19.7 and I was 400, so 4 tenths of a second up, and the game lagged out there. Sam, very disappointed. Gavin said very nice message there from Guna there. Good luck, Paynes there. Jonathan, I've messaged Tanley and apologised. Good stuff there, Jonathan. Of course, we all make mistakes, don't we? As Fireshot is out of qualifying as well. As Fireshot has got the qualifying ban, not Vesey, my apologies. They're in a similar colour car, aren't they? One's black and gold, the other's pink. Anyway, then we're coming into qualifying 2. Then we've got 15 minutes in this qualifying 2 session to the side then at 11th to 14th. Of course, we would have had 15 cars, but Sam there unfortunately has damaged his car. So I think it's granted first man out. Indeed he is. He's beat Jonathan to the punch there. Jonathan's usually the first man out on track, but not today. It's Granty, isn't it? So yeah, Jonathan just apologised to Tansy. Good sport there from Jonathan. We've also got Gavin saying he's the best there is there. So I think I'm a little behind on that, Gunnar, so apologies. So unless yeah, I don't know really, I've got a short memory. And we've also got Darren aside and say good luck, Paynes, good to see you back in league racing. Yeah, a lot of love for Paynes in the old comment section. I love it as well. Of course, good luck to Paynes for making his debut here tonight as well. Also great to see Laggy Racer back in action as well in ALR as well. So good stuff indeed to see those guys in action and at a race. It's also good to see Nosey back in ALR as well, isn't it? It's really good stuff indeed. Granted there, my goodness me, that was a very excited a very excited wag of the tail there from Granty, but he's on his way now. He's on the medium compound tyre. Of course, if anyone who's new and joining us here tonight, of course, there's going to be a lot of guys and girls that will be watching here tonight and knowing the rules. But let's just go through them anyway, shall we? Of course, in qualifying 2, then there's a bit of a twist in the tail, isn't there? We are still aiming to lose 5 cars, and this occasion we're only losing 4 there. We are aiming to lose 11th, 12th, 13th, 13th and 14th then. If you get into the top 10, you must start on that tyre which you set your fastest time on. And at the moment, Grant is on the yellow stripe media. Oh, goodness me, he straight at the, he opened the steering wheel there, didn't he? And almost ran off the track there, Grant did. Of course, the whole point of the racing is you've got to minimise the slip angle, don't you? You've got to turn as less as possible, don't you? You've got to go as fast as possible as well, which is probably the most obvious statement I've made ever. And Grant is involved in this time. And that is not good at all there for the championship leader, the defending champion from season 2. Grant is as well then. And got to say there, Grant has recently changed his helmet, hasn't he? And I think it's a fabulous helmet. I love it. We're just wait. I think we got waiting for an Alfa Romeo, haven't we? So we got Laggy Racer. Oh, Laggy Racer! I thought he was going around. No, not one iota. Jonathan there has done a 51.5. I remember, as I said, 7 times he's been on pole position this season. He's been absolutely head and tails. He's been the class of qualifying. He's been brilliant. He hasn't won a race yet though this season, as far as I'm aware. No, he has not. Which would be the first time actually that Jonathan has not won a race in a season so far. He's got 5 races to replicate that, including tonight. Of course, he won in season 1 in Japan, didn't he? He was the first man to beat Nigel in a straight fight, as far as I'm aware. So good stuff indeed there from Jonathan, and that just shows us the credentials of this man. Impressive. And of course he did win in season 2, and I think the one of the most dominating races that you'll see in ALR, an ALR Gold, that is, in Hungary. He was absolutely magnificent, he really was. I took my hat off to him that day. It was really good stuff indeed. And Brandon is gone into a second fast at the moment now, all on the medium tyres at the moment now, so not many people are throwing them the soft tyres or the hard tyres on yet, or a bit. Nosey's coming out on those hard tyres. Paynes has gone third fast, doing a very good job there. Paynes is in the end of there. He's really very much come on, leaps and bounds, hasn't he? Just steps in the car and he is away, isn't he? Incredible stuff as well. Here comes Steve then, I think one of the most unluckiest drivers in ALR in the season so far, hasn't he? And of course Steve's a very talented driver, isn't he? I don't think he's shown us his full capabilities just yet though. He is third fastest in the Haas. Good stuff indeed there. We've got a Mercedes driver coming down the back straight as well. I think it is Mumford. He is. He's on the soft tires. Mumford. There's no playing around with Mumford. Good stuff indeed then. We got a McLaren there coming down the hill as well. He's about to start. No, it's Mr. Lee. I think he was about to have another crack then. Knowlesy then is just starting his lap as well then. Who is that? Young guy is out on track at the moment, but he's invalidated this time now. Emerson also starting his lap as well. So we're going to stay with Knowlesy then. And Knowlesy then is on track as well. I wonder if Mr. Lee is going to go for another run. Remember, if he gets in the top 10, that means he'll have 2 laps, 2 attacking laps in qualifying trim then on these medium tyres then. So I'm wondering how is that going to fare in the race then. Remember this race in 2013, we had 5 pit stops, didn't we? Or 4 pit stops in 5 sets of tyres, or 5 pit stops in 6 sets of tyres. It was a very painful day for me, unfortunately. Of course, being a Lewis Hamilton super fan, of course Hamilton started second on the grid there. He finished 12th, I think. Rosberg, who was on pole position, finished 6th, didn't he? It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Oh my goodness me, Mr. Lee! I thought he was going to the scene of the accident there. Oh goodness. Mr. Lee there very much hanging on there by the seat of his pants, and as he's coming out of the turn 10 as well, floating over turn 11 and 12, and he has gone fast in the second sector from his point of view. Good stuff indeed then. We've got Sam saying, I'm watching you, Grant and Emerson, pick up some lessons from you both. We've got Joe Whitaker saying, Chris, are you there? Are you there, Chris? Possibly. We've also got Grant saying, from the start of that lap, I didn't feel confident. Yeah, it did look like a handful, especially even starting that lap, didn't it? So, yeah, granted, there, of course, around here they got very waggy, didn't he? The rear end there, so coming out of turn 15 there. So, yeah, I think granted there really just didn't feel right. Knowlesy has done a 20 on the hard tyres. Remember, here comes Emerson, who's on the medium tyres then, and let's see what Emerson can do until he comes over the grid hatches as well. He's gone faster still. Emerson has lovely stuff indeed there from the multiple Grand Prix winner. He's had 3 wins, hasn't he, this season? But I think in his career, I think he's got 8 wins in total, hasn't he? Emerson, that's fantastic. He's been very much one of the main men, hasn't he, since making his debut back in season 2 in Azerbaijan, hasn't he? Knowles there is just causing a yellow flag at the moment then, as he has just come back in the pits as well, looking very light there. Knowles at the moment. Lights is coming out of the pits. He's on an outlap at the moment, even though that didn't look like he was on an outlap, did it? But because he was coming straight out of the pits, and Granty is just about to start his lap, isn't he? As we've got Darren saying, good luck tonight, Granted there, of course, we've got Williams bromance, haven't we, for all 3 divisions. It's good stuff indeed there. Payne saying, Darren, what's your PSN? I feel as we have also got, I'll let Darren, I don't want to steal Darren's the thunder there. I was going to say lightning for some reason. I don't know. I'm just all about the energy drinks at the moment. I think there's an energy drink which I found in Tesco's earlier called Lightning, which is amazing, isn't it? I might start drinking that then. Might make me feel a bit cooler. Hopefully it might make me go quick as lightning as well. That'll be a miracle in itself, won't it? We're on board Grant at the moment, and as he is floating through turn 1 there. See, that car is not looking glued to the floor at about Grant. Just remember, Grant is going for 4 race wins in a row, hasn't he? Today, that'll be incredible stuff. Would that be a new record in ALR? I think it would be, actually. Don't quote me on that, but I think it would be, actually, because I think we've got 3 in a row there from MWB, I think, in his season 1 era. Nigel was very close. I think Nigel has got 2 race wins, but I don't think we've ever had anyone with 4 race wins in a row here. As Nigel's coming down the back straight as well. He's on a 52-0 there. Good stuff indeed then. Laggy Racer, I lost 4 tenths per second in the last chicane. Bored it big time. Darren saying that he is confirming that he is serious mushroom. Yeah, my lap was a shambles. Oh, hey. From Pains as well then. Of course, get all very friendly in the comment section. I love it. Of course, I do love a bit of friendliness as well. There's Nigel there coming out on track. Look at how much opposite lock you have to put on there, and a lot of correction of the car. Of course, the more you steer, the less time you're going forward. And of course, these cars are always sliding, but you have to slide forwards. Young Lights out on track. Granty now coming up to finish his time. Then let's see what he can do. Then that's a better time for Granty. Well, I think it is anyway. It's a 10th of a second quicker in front of Emerson. Well, the clock shows it is, so it must be incredible time now for Granty. Munford is as Young Lights are almost into the outskirts there as we're on board there with Lights there. Emerson, Ayrton is saying you need to drink some nose, Sean, or is that NOS? I don't know what nose is. What's nose? Or is that NOS? It might be NOS. I think it's not. I'm not cool, you see. I think someone was playing Need for Speed the other day. The last Need for Speed I played was it Underground or something on PlayStation 2? I was rubbish at it, which kind of explains a lot, really, doesn't it? Lights is coming through the final turn as well, then, and he is coming over. He's got DRS, and there's 2 DRS zones around there. I didn't even mention the DRS yet. Goodness me, I need a sacking, don't I? But Lights has gone third fast at the moment, and he is very much. That's a very good time indeed. And I have a feeling though that the guys have set time so far. Nigel is now someone coming in the pits. The guys that have set time so far, I don't think they're going to be. They're not going to be safe, are they? Matt has gone onto the soft compound tires, and look at the commitment there from that man. Fantastic! I got very excited there. It was a cracking old corner, wasn't it? It might have been the same as any other corner, really, but maybe it was just the camera angle, wasn't it? They've just made it much more dramatic there, didn't it? But yeah, I got really excited at that camera. To be honest, there's a lot of things that they were talking about improving F1, wasn't they? About a year or so ago, wasn't it? Of course, about the cars and about the big developments and maybe the aerodynamics suggestion and just making them a bit more skittish to drive. Also about camera angles as well, isn't it? I think that the cars don't feel as fast these days, even though they're probably just as quick or even quicker at some locations than back when like the mid 90s as well. That's when I really fell in love with F1. But it's the violence here, the onboard cameras, wasn't it? They were shaking around, isn't it? You remember Aaron Senna's incredible quali lap in Monaco, but the violenceness of that camera angle was incredible, wasn't it? With their head bobbling around and things like that. So that's probably why it doesn't feel as fast these days, is it? It's also about camera shots as well. Matt has gone into 5th fastest moment now. Good time there for Matt. He's in the 18s then. Is he going to be secure though? That's the question. Jonathan is invalidated his time now. Jonathan has got quick one-line pace at the moment, but he's really struggling there to like build up a couple of laps here, isn't he? He's one and done at the moment, isn't he, Jonathan? It's like he needs to dust his overalls down and have another crack there. Remember, the record pole sitter indeed then is Sam there. Nice lap by Granty, and I think Sam is also very disappointed in me as well, so I think I've said something I should have done. That might be the Need for Speed comment. We've also got Brandon saying Sean is greater than Lightning McQueen there, and also Laggy Racer also going ka-chow as well. I'm loving this. It's good stuff indeed there. I got to say, I still need to watch Cars 3 actually. That's one thing I really need to do before I go back to work. So I watched the new Star Wars film the other day. I wasn't really it was alright. I got to say I'm a big old Star Wars nerd, and I was really looking forward to that. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed with how it finished, to be honest. But there you go. I'm not going to mention any spoilers, and in case anyone's been like me and just waiting for Disney Plus to come out because you're too cheap to go to the cinema. We have also got We've also got Mr. Lights saying, tried to give my teammate a slipstream there, and of course, Light said, I think he gave him a slight slipstream, didn't he? But it wasn't, I don't think it was that effective then. 3 minutes ago in this session, then Matt is coming in the pits. Look how narrow this pit lane is. Remember, there used to be a mini chicane coming into this Spanish Grand Prix pit lane back in '95 around that time, wasn't it? Luckily, back then the damage model wasn't as in depth there, which of course you would probably expect there, because I would have lost my front wing quite a lot of times there going through that chicane. I think the most difficult is pit lane in pit entry you'll ever try and accomplish was actually 98, I think it was the most 97 and 98 on those games. That was a horrific pit entry. I kept ricocheting off the barriers because it was so narrow. I kept going from left right. Laggy Racer was out on track at the moment. He's currently 12th position, but he's thrown on a set of soft tyres then. We've got Broke Gorilla saying, evening Sean, loving the commentary, lovely stuff, thanks Gorilla. Oh, Lights is up for session there, he needs to get back in pronto. He is currently third fast at the moment. Then we've got Darren saying, who's fighting out at the top of in the drop zone? Well, currently we've got Nigel, we've got Laggy Racer and Nosey. Nosey put on a set of hard tyres, so we expect Nosey to improve by at least a second and a bit there. We've also got Nigel, who also put on a hard tyre as well, so we're expecting him to be out there as well. Mr. Elite is currently in the pits at the moment with 2 minutes to go, then he might have to think about getting out this lap. It's quite a short lap time, isn't it? Just over about 80 seconds long. Then Lights is back in the session as well, so he can defend himself. The top five are in the pits at the moment. Brandon's also in the pits as well. Mumford's out on track. Steve and Paynes is out track as well. Lovely stuff then. We got Harry saying Cars 3 is good then. Oh, good. So I might actually watch that as well. The trailer looked really good, didn't it? Of course, it was very dramatic there, because I think I had Lightning McQueen there, a barrel rolling over, didn't it? So yeah, I wasn't sure where to watch a lot, because I got to say I'm a bit of an emotional wreck when films are emotional and sad. Anyway, coming to the line then is Laggy Racer, and he is now in 6th fast mode. Good stuff there from the Alfa Romeo driver. He's 7/10 a second improvement. Lovely. Mumford is just started some time. We've also got Nosey on track as well then, and he is 6/10 a second up with Nosey. Is car 94 in the Renault. Sam is left for session again, and he is probably a bit I wonder if he's gone off to maybe get a setup, or hopefully I'm hoping he hasn't got any problems there, because we want to see Sam racing, don't we? Sam is a very crucial time at the moment for Sam, and look at Nosey, they're really wagging that tail there as he comes up to the line as well. Lovely stuff indeed there. DRS is wide open at that little letterbox. He's 8 fast about it there. Don't quote me, but I think the Nosey might be a bit concerned, but oh, Mumford there had to correct the car mid-slide at turn 8 there. My goodness me, yellow flag is fluttering in one, then he flies over turn 9 as well. Lovely shot there as well. I love the shot there from the back. It's absolutely beautiful stuff indeed there. And as another coming, he's got purple in the second sector for this. He's giving it all kinds of welly there, isn't he? And in sector 1 and 2, we've got yellow flags that are fluttering around at the moment, haven't we? Oh, goodness me, then. So Mumford there is now just dropping down the hill then into this Mickey Mouse chicane there, which I've got to say really breaks up the flow for me, doesn't it? I don't like it personally, but there you go. Lovely shot here from the nose cone of Mumford. Mumford is trying to help his teammate Emerson win the Constructors, and he is having the third fastest. Mumford is good stuff indeed there. Nigel's on track. He's a 10th for second up there. Mr. Elite is on track. We've got Paynes, who's 3/10 of second down. He's had a bit of a nightmare second sector. Brandon's on the lap as well. Nosey is 12 seconds down there, and Laggy Racer is taking alternative route then back to the pits then. As I'm just taking a look then, I think it's the second Renault of Paynes, and the flag has dropped. The flag has dropped. Then here comes Paynes. He's in the pits. Paynes is out qualifying. Oh, that's a shame now for Paynes. Mr. Lee is 2/10 of a second up there. We've also got Nigel on track as well. Nigel is 8/10 of a second up. That is in the ballpark of where he needs to be. Good stuff indeed then. And now he is coming out to the line. Right, he's in the final sector now. Sam's back in the session, and I'm hoping that issue can clear up quite quickly for Sam, because goodness me, 28 viewers, my gosh. Gosh, I'm more nervous now. But yeah, Sam hopefully can get, hopefully there's no issues there, and hopefully he can get on with the race in the soon. And Nigel goes out to 6 fast as he is in safety. That's good stuff indeed. Nosey's in safety at the moment there, but there's Brandon and Mr. Elite who wants to spoil Nosey's welcome home party. Wow, goodness me. Oh, Brandon's having to come to the pits because he's invalidated this time then. Well, Mr. Elite, he's also out qualified as well, but it looks because he's 17 seconds down. So Nosey is through into qualifying 3 on his return. Absolutely fantastic stuff there from Nosey. Good stuff indeed there. Of course, I'm not going to be biased towards Nosey, because as Dan in Farf knows, when they're on track, I am very I'm very bad to it. But so well done to Nosey though. He's into qualifying 3. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Unfortunately, we got some surprise names as out qualifying too there, isn't it? So I hope you're all sat comfortably and not on the edge of a seat somewhere because you might fall off. Look, listen to these names that have been knocked out of qualifying. We've lost Fireshot, remember, you had a qualifying ban, but you've also lost Mr. Elite, Payne's there, and Brandon. My goodness me there, I wasn't expecting to say those guys there when we was at the end of this qualifying 2 session, but of course that's the beauty of live sport, isn't it? It's not one on paper, is it? We got Brandon there, not gonna saying that Brandon saying Cars 1 is the best. Then we got Razor saying that Nigel for the win this week. Of course, Nigel hasn't won a race, I don't think. He has won a race this season. I think he won the Belgian Grand Prix way back in round 4. Unfortunately, he hasn't won a race since, has he? Nigel hasn't. So can Nigel there end that duck then? Quickly, you summarise some Q2 then. Fireshot, Mr. Elite, Paynes and Brandon have all bit the dust. They're all out of qualifying 2. And qualifying 3 is kind of in just a jiffy. Soft tires for Mumford, for Matt and Laggy Racer. Keeping on those 3. They're going to be lightning in a bottle, aren't they, when they come off the start line? Good stuff indeed then. Sam saying he's crashed on him again when the lobby grows for me. What's shorts up, but the incident on his side is fine now. So that's not looking too good for Sam, but hopefully that clears up then, as I've just knocked my phone off again. Gosh. We've also got Payne saying just ruined it. Why are some people on softs at lol? I think they're rolling the dice really, wouldn't they? We've also got Darren saying second pole there for Payne's there in P11, and fresh tires as well then. What happened, Brandon? You're usually fast at Spain then. Brandon just going ouch really, so I think that might be enough said really from a Brandon side. Razor saying, did you notice YT was in gold last? I didn't notice YT was in gold. Let's go YT there. Yeah, of course. Brains there is his debut here in gold. Fantastic stuff indeed there. We've also got suffering very from understeer there, Brandon. So that's hopefully you can get that cleared up before the race as well. So that might hurt those tires there with more steering input. Of course, the more wear you put on those tires there, isn't it? Of course, unfortunately, it's all about tires, isn't it? Really, in Formula 1 these days. But it's always been about something, isn't it? Where you're managing the engine or the tires or stuff like that. You kind of you got to look after these cars. Though you can't be too rough with them, can you? Otherwise, they'll fall apart. They're only built to go they used to be only built to go exactly the race distance and no more, wasn't it? Really, but of course, I think they're more built for endurability these days. If is endurability a word, I don't really know, to be honest, but it is now. It's in the Sean Meek dictionary. We have also got Payne there. Man should have went for softs there. Sam saying, ouch, not a good day for us. G29 users, Brandon there. Mr. Young Knight saying 27 people watching. Goodness me, I know, blimey, I'm getting very sweaty. But that's probably because I'm just very unhealthy. We've also got Chris 94. It's Sunday, nothing on TV. Touche. Well, there should be something on Sunday, shouldn't there? It should be sport, and that's what it is. And this tonight is ALR, which is absolutely fantastic stuff. It really is. That, of course. We're all missing the actual Formula 1 though, aren't we? Oh gosh, I'm definitely missing it. Really good stuff indeed. As a pure blades end commentator, I don't know who you are, but have you ever considered doing an audition? Sorry, I thought someone was going into the wall. I was looking at the wrong. That's what you get for doing 2 things at once, so apologies about that. Have you ever considered doing auditions? No, I'm rubbish at auditions, to be honest. When I tried to play Pop Idol on PlayStation 2, I never got through. Anyway, now we're coming up then to the start finish. So we're about to start up now then, and we are watching Jonathan then. Of course, he is the most or what is he? He's the most successful driver in qualifying, isn't he? In ALR history, he's been fantastic. He's had 9 pole positions. He's had 7 this season, and we're on board with him as well then, as he is coming through turn 3 then. Let's see what he's going to do. He's the first man out on track then. Jonathan then, of course, usually you would say that this goes against the grain, wouldn't you? Because you would say that you've got to be the last man out on track. And that's when you get a good time in the board, isn't it? Because that's when the track is at its fastest. But obviously that's not the case, is it? Because Jonathan doesn't need that, does he? He's quick enough overrunning up. He's got the confidence, hasn't he, to just throw a lap in, hasn't he? So yeah, Jonathan as well. I also seen a message just from him just a minute ago saying he's had a very successful Sunday. Of course, Jonathan Sunday is definitely race day, not rest day, is it? It's race day for Jonathan. Goodness me. I got to say that man loves a racing car, doesn't he? Anyway, he's coming out of turn 10 as well. He's had a very good day, hasn't he, in terms of motors. So fantastic stuff indeed then. And as a job for there, it's just coming to the final part of the lap as well. We have also got Yeah, I'll read out the comments in a bit there because there's a bit of banter going on there. Jonathan there is having coming to the line as well, and that wasn't a very good exit out of the final turn then, but he's still away nonetheless. And here comes Emerson. He needs a big weekend here tonight, doesn't he? He is pole position at the moment there, and that'll be his fourth pole position of the season. But at the moment, but he needs to really stop this, really stop the momentum train that Grant is on the moment. Grant is only second fastest by 200 of a second. Goodness gracious me, then that is very nip and tuck. Laggy Racer on his return, he's in fourth position, fantastic. Nope, Steve is just stolen out from under his nose. He is now up in the fourth position himself. We've got a Red Bull of Young Lights there. Once again, Young Lights has been fantastic, also nipping the grass there as well. He is in third fast mode. Yellow flags are fluttering down the end there. Don't worry about that. We've also got Nosey there. It is Yellow Submarine there also coming out on track as well. Matt is coming into the final sector as well, but he's invalidated this time. We'll go to the Nigel is also on the lap as well. So Nosey, I think we're going to be watching then as he's coming through turn 2. The perilous turns around here is turn 2. If you get on the curb, then you'll be sending to the you'll be going into the Armco barrier, and also turn 9 and 10 as well, where Sam crashed earlier on in this session there. He said it was the game. He said the game crashed there, but well, whether it has or not is different story. Of course, we believe Sam there. Of course, we did. But it's unfortunate for Sam. It really was, because he said he was feeling good in this session as well. And in ALR Silver, I said the other week there that to qualify doesn't really matter, does it? But my goodness me, it does, doesn't it? You need a good position on the grid, don't you, to like stay out of trouble. And I think Silver, we have really good qualifiers and really good races, which makes an absolutely fantastic league. Bearing in mind there is no Silver tomorrow night, of course, because they're taking a week off. I should be in Portugal right now, but instead I'm in Spain there. And where else would you want to be on a Sunday afternoon? Well, I certainly want to be anywhere else. I'm enjoying myself. I have got my old can of Monster, and I'm just lounging around in my shorts and this very hot jumper, which I don't know what I've got on, to be honest, but it was the first thing I grabbed. Nosey goes 6 fast at the moment. Good stuff from the Renault driver. Laggy is going over the sleeping policeman. Nigel is coming up into the final sector as well then. A lovely over-the-shoulder shot here from Nigel as well. Of course, those signature helmet colours there, the green, yellow and black. I'm loving that. That's one of my favourite helmets of all of the drivers here. And he's coming through the final turn as well, and he's about to start. He's about to finish us off by saying he's gone 4 fastest the season 1 champion. Fantastic stuff from Nigel there. Remember, Nigel all the way through up until this season was holding records after records in the ALR, wasn't he? The most Grand Prix winner, wasn't he? He had the most pole positions, didn't he? But this season it feels like that there's a turning of the tide then, isn't it? And Matt is on an outlap as well. Someone's got the beatbox out outside my window there. Goodness me. It felt like the 90s out, didn't it, with the old baggy jeans and stuff. And Matt is out on track at the moment, so he's just starting lap. This gives me a good opportunity there just to go through the old comment section as well then. As we've got Sam there saying, watching us, are you, Chris? We've also got Pure Blade saying, commentary, I didn't know. Oh, well, I've already said that, sorry. Of course, I always read the positive comments there, because, yeah. We've also got Paynes there. Just giving us the laughing emoji there. George Sargent now loving the commentary there. Chris is supporting Nigel, and of course he's also supporting Sam as well. Of course, Sam a good supporter there. Payne saying he said auctions and not auditions. Yeah, I would love to drop the hammer. We've also got Sam there just face palming me. There's George saying you would be good for a horse racing there. I really would, but I really would, but you know, it's over quite fast, isn't it? Really, horse racing, and I don't really know. I don't really know what to say when they're playing with our jockeys and stuff. We've also got Sam saying, "I'm calling Emerson for the win." Now, can Emerson there break off? Then can Emerson there really stop the momentum, which is Grant at the moment. Darren saying, "Wow, he's going ham on Sam." We've also got Emerson saying, "Let's hope so, Sam." Grant saying, "Oh, this is going to be close," and it really is. I'm loving this at the moment. This is a fantastic qualifying session, one of the best of the season. We've had some crackers so far, hasn't we? We've also got Sam saying, expect to see a lot of laps from Emerson and Grant battling there. I really hope so indeed then. Brandon's eating a poached egg then, as he's enjoying his extra 5 minutes then on the side. So I wasn't expecting Brandon to be out of qualifying, to be honest. So I think that is just an extra bit of protein there to get himself ready for the race then. So that could potentially swing in his way there for Brandon there with that poached egg then. Go for the win, even though he's in silver. So we've also got George Sargent saying he got a shout out. He's got another one as well. And we've also got Bailey Smith. And how did you crash yesterday? Shown on the start finish. There was a problem. Obviously, I got a dodgy suspension. Matt is in the pits then, so he's coming in the pits then, and he is now going to sit and wait for a minute then. So we've got 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. It's been absolutely fantastic stuff so far, hasn't it? And we are now just waiting then for the car scout then. Of course, this is now a bit of a waiting game for now, isn't it? Who is going to blink first in this qualifying session? We got 3 and 3/4 minutes to go then. Emerson's on pole position at the moment. That'll be his his 4th pole position of the season. That'll be his 5th pole position of his career then. Remember, he only had 1 pole position last season. It's been absolutely incredible stuff, hasn't it? It just shows the improvement then. Jonathan, I just did enough from it and assumed it was Jonathan. How dare I? It is Laggy Racer taking over from Echo for the remainder of the season, with Echo having some issues with his old F1 2019 game, doesn't he? He seems to get a lot of errors and stuff, doesn't he? I got to say, I've had past problems with the old PlayStation as well, as I had to self-destruct it a couple of weeks ago. But luckily, it's touch wood, it's all okay at the moment now. I just got to keep it going until October, November, December time when the PlayStation 5 comes out, I think. So I just got to give it a good old dust every now and again. Hopefully it'll be fine. We have just got Brandon saying, Sean could get the win here. Could be close with Granty and Emerson. It really couldn't it? To be honest, I think like Emerson and Granty definitely needs to watch their mirrors. I'm going to be right on their tails. We've also got Emerson Sean for the win in my opinion, and as I'm saying, Sean, you could think you think anyone is going to crash on turn 8 on the 90-degree corner. I'll make a bet then. I think ooh, that's an interesting one. I didn't even mention turn 8, did I? I reckon turn 8 and turn 9 there. I do think that someone's going to be in the hedge, but I'm not going to bet on who it is there, because usually when I make a prophecy it's completely wrong, and someone else is going to have the unfortunate misdemeanor there, because I think I was saying in silver last week, Todd was on a fantastic race, wasn't he, in Abu Dhabi, and unfortunately it all went to pot, didn't it? As soon as I mentioned that, he was a couple of laps later, he was in the wall, wasn't he? As he was having a great old battle, wasn't he, with I can't remember who he was with now, but it was a brilliant battle in Abu Dhabi. But what do you expect in silver? It's fantastic, isn't it? Of course, silver is not racing tomorrow night, so we got bronzo on Tuesday, which means that which will be the round 5 of bronze. And of course, bronze only a 9-round championship, and we've got a new leader in energetics then, but it's very close between energetics and Nude Potato, which is still one of my favourite gamer tags ever. Here comes Laggy Racer. They're coming into turn 7 and 8 now, of course. Oh, look at that there! Just as Sam predicted there, Laggy Racer was really struggling. Now into turn 9 as well. Also the error corner that Sam was mentioning, and Laggy Racer definitely much more happier there, isn't he? As now he's 4 tenths per second up, Laggy Racers. We've got a Granty in the foreground there. He is getting out of the way very gentlemanly, like from Granty. Beautiful stuff indeed then. And now he's coming into the final part of that now then. Let's see what Laggy Racer. Oh, he's invalidated his time there. That's a cheap invalidation as well there from Laggy, because he looks like he just left the car drifting out wide there, didn't he? What a shame there for Laggy Racer, but he's coming up to the line, so he's going to have to go again, unfortunately. Nosey's on track at the moment there. Nosey is also on track, and so is C as well. Everyone is on track at the moment, and that is good. That is what we want to see, isn't it? On board with Nosey, making a return. This is his first appearance of season 3 in ALR, and he is doing an absolutely splendid job out there at the moment, isn't he, in the round there. Of course, Renault do need a drive to stay the ship there. Remember at the beginning of the season, of course, Renault are the defending Constructors champions, and they had Dan and Twang in there, and I thought that was one of the most incrediblest driver pairing you can have. It just hasn't got right for one way or another, has it? And Laggy's retired from the session. Laggy is out of the qualifying. What a shame there. He's only 8th, but I think that's a very good return there from Laggy, showing some really good pace there on 1-lap runs then. And jumping over the curbs and Nosey as well. And what can Nosey do? He's 7th at the moment, and he's definitely very much in the ballpark, isn't he? And now he's coming as Laggy was just saying, just my luck there, just my luck, unfortunately. Mumford's going to be in for a few good points then, and that is very good, isn't it, for also the Constructors as well. The checker flag has fallen. Nosey is coming through the final turn, and let's see what he can do. He is third fastest. Good return there from Nosey. Hats off, well done, young man. Now we're coming up to Steve, and he's 100 for a second time, and he's dead, and this is the final corner now. Let's see what he's going to do now. Laggy Racer was improved by 7 tenths, but he's just not gone his way. Steve stays 7 faster when here comes Granty, then Granted, and he's a 10th of a second. That's pole position at the moment. He's going to go on pole position. And Granty is coming to the line. Is it? It is pole position there by 0.3 of a second. Fantastic stuff indeed then. What about Matt? Matt is coming into the final corners now then. This is his first attempt there, isn't it, of a qualifying lap in Q3 there. He's had a bit of a messy qualifying 3, but he's still here nonetheless, and he goes into 10th fast in the end. Matt does. I'm wondering if he had the lap hit under his barrel originally, he would have gone for more out and out pace there. But Jonathan has gone third fastest there. Jonathan has said we have got Young Lights coming through the final turn as well. Young Lights on both Mercedes said Young Lights is currently in 5th position there. Emerson is currently, is he going to be on pole position? No, he is second. And Granty is on pole position once again. A fantastic lap there from Granty. My goodness me, this man is a train at the moment. That's his 4th pole position of the season. Absolutely fabulous stuff indeed there. And that is Granty's 5th pole position of his career then. So absolutely fantastic stuff there from Granty. Brilliant stuff there. Absolutely splendid stuff then. We've got Sam. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Granty for pole, and it is Granty for pole, isn't it? That's a brilliant time there for Granty, and well done there from Granty. That's brilliant stuff indeed, there, isn't it? From the championship leader, the defending champion is once again sitting pretty at the top of the standings there. He's on pole position for the Spanish Grand Prix. He's going for his fourth race win in a row there, and that is a big old time leap, isn't it, between Granty and Emerson there. Apologies, I was just trying to catch my breath there. That's the only thing I will catch. So I'm a very slow runner. Emerson is second, then 2/10 second away. Then Jonathan in 3rd position. Then 4th position is Knowlesy. Brilliant return there for Knowlesy. Lights in 5th position with Nigel in 6th there. Nigel once again struggling in the qualifying session, but he seems to do well in the races, don't he? Steve and Mumford 7th and 8th. Then 9th is Laggy and 10th is Matt. And as we said, Matt only had one bite of the cherry there, didn't he? And Laggy Racers did as well. Potentially they would have been a bit higher up as well. We got Young Lights a bad time. I was 3/10 up then, still okay I guess then, but unfortunately there it didn't go too well at all, did it? Now we're into the race itself then, isn't it? So this is going to be very interesting, isn't it? So yeah, let's see what's going to occur then in this race itself then. So yeah, I hope you're all ready for this one. This is going to be a cracker, isn't it? This race is usually a strategy race, isn't it? But it's going to be very interesting to see how this one goes, isn't it? As you can see, the drivers are getting ready for the just getting ready now for the race itself, and so they're just putting in a bit, just putting in some strategy, and then we should be away in just a few moments then. So of course, then anyone who's outside the top 10 has a free tire choice, don't they? Which is all good stuff indeed. Then anyone that's in the top 10 must start on a tires which they set their fastest time on. So it's going to be very interesting to say the least as well. Then so they're off the grid now, and they are ready to get going, and which is going to be a fantastic race. It really is. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be very good indeed. Then anyway, then so so they're all coming down now into turn 1. Then let's go for the grid start from front to back, from pole position then to 19th on the grid. Then yeah, so this is going to be absolutely splendid race, isn't it? As I quickly get the old graphics off it. So we have got then Grant saying good luck to all the drivers out there. Yes, indeed. Then we have also got Gavin saying nice lap, Granted, buddy, and also we've got Darren saying good luck to all the drivers as well then, and they're just now coming through the formation lap then. So this is going to be 33 laps around here. This is a tough one, isn't it? This is a tough one. You've got to very much keep yourself keep your strategy going. You also got to make sure that you've also got to just make sure that you don't come a cropper as well, because if you damage your front wing, then it is going to be a very long race indeed, isn't it? Anyway then, so we are now then we're now on the perilous turn 9 then, so we're just coming up then to the final couple of corners on this lap then. So Grant is on pole position then, alongside him is Emerson. That is row 1. Row 2 is Jonathan and Nosey. Then we have Lights in a 5th position, and Nigel in 6th then. Steve is in 7th with Mumford 8th, Laggy 9th, and Matt in 10th position. They're all on the soft compound tyres. Brandon in 11th position with Paynes in 12th position. Remember, he's making his debut tonight. 13th is Mr. Elite. 14th position is Fireshot. Then we have a 15th position is Sam, who is decided not to take part in the formation lap, nor is Vez as well, who's on the hard tires. Scorpio 70th position, Farf 18th on the hard tires, and 19th is Tansy. 2 men on the hard tires, everyone else on the medium tires, apart from the 4 drivers we just mentioned then. So yes, this is going to be a fairly I think it's going to be a cracking race, isn't it? So anything can happen in this race. It usually does. Anything happens in ALR. It's a brilliant race, isn't it? To really get the blood, to really get the juices flowing, isn't it? So here goes, and Granty is just coming up to the line as well. Then Tansy is also coming up to the coming to the line as well. Then he is currently 19th on the grid. Then can he have a strong race? And that is the question. Then this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? So yeah, looking forward to this one. This is going to be fantastic then. So hold on to your hats, everyone. This is going to be amazing. 33 laps around here. We are ready to get racing in just a few moments then, and when those magical 5 red lights go out, we'll be racing here in Barcelona. As now we're going. Now we got those lights out. We got 3, we got 4, we got 5, and there'll be a pause, and then of course, and now we go. And then Granty's away well. Emerson's also away well. There's contact at the bottom of the floor. He's damaged the front wing, and he's damaged the end plate. And so Granty is going for the lead into turn 1. He's taking the lead there, but Jonathan's over the second. He's passed Emerson, but Emerson is going down the inside there. How are they looking? Lights up in the 4th position, and are they all through? They are all through. And Jonathan is still pulling, I don't know what he's doing. He's battling. Everyone doesn't say he's going to try to hit the back on us a racing point. Up into 2nd position is Jonathan. Emerson is down in 3rd position. Lights up in the 4th position. Fantastic stuff. And that is not good at all for the championship, for Emerson's championship credential at the moment. And Granty is at the perfect start. Lights in 4th, Nosy 5th, C in 6th position, Laggy 7th, and Mumford 8th. Fireshot into 9th position. Great stuff. Mr. Lee in 10th position, but Matt is all on his tail in 10th position. Brandon in 12th position. Sam is in 13th position. That's getting very sluggish. And then Brandon then just about keeping it all new straight and narrow. Farfair is a yellow flag in 2. Then that's a Ferrari off Tansy. I think he's damaged the car. He damaged the car coming off the grid there. So a virtual safety car, and it is for Tansy. I think Matt is also dropping down the order as well, isn't he? They got oh my goodness me, look how close it's going to be then. And they got to sort themselves out. And I think Mr. Elite is actually shot up into 8th position now. Good 17th then. So this is a virtual safety car. So what is going to happen here is that they have to you have to adhere to the delta then before they get back racing then. So yeah, I gotta say it's a perfect start for the championship leader. And Granty is looking very strong at the moment, but I think that Jonathan is going to have something to say about this, isn't he? Really interested indeed then to say at least that. And now we'll be back racing in just a few moments, I think. Anyway, as the virtual safety car starts at the moment, so Tansy is coming in the pits and he had a nightmare start. Tansy has damaged the end plate, and now he's also he's also got 5-second penalty there as well. I think he forgot about the line, didn't he? Just went steaming in there. With virtual safety car is taking an age to come back in the moment, isn't it? Goodness me. But it's a drive-through penalty for Nosey. He is we're back racing as lights out. Look at what's going on here. Nosey's off the track. Then he's got off in the Renault, and he is dropping down the order. Then he's come off the track. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like he lost the back end, and he's dropping all the way down the field. He's got a problem. Nosey has. He's got a problem. He's trying to get himself going again. And Granty then is they're changing the nose car on the Friday. So Granty leads at the moment. Then 2nd position is Jonathan. Emerson is in 1st position. We're on board of Emerson at the moment, and he's oh my goodness me, they're getting very frightened there. Look at them coming on turn 9. Fantastic, isn't it? The downforce on these cars is absolutely mega, isn't it? Really is indeed. Then it's now then it's we got Mr. Elite is getting forced off the track there. He's driving at this contact. He's been doofed off. Man, I'll tell you ways of action. I don't think he damaged the car, did he? Oh, he's got end plate damage there. And there's also some more debris flying off these cars. These cars are very nervous there about end plate technique, so they're going to be a very difficult to control. And then a lovely shot here from Sam on the nose cone there, as he is now coming through then to complete another lap then as well. Now as Granty is setting up fast out the race, and Matt is defending his D, but there's no DRS yet, so I don't think it's have I told a lie? Yeah, no, I haven't told a lie. John O'Reilly is down back down for 7 seconds, back up into 2nd position. Then he is back up into 2nd position now. Has he got a pace to get out for his championship rival? Granty, if he wins today, well, the gap will be up to 49 points if it it stays as it is at the moment. My goodness, that's almost 2 wins. Sam is in the points as well. Sam is having an incredible, inspiring drive as of late, hasn't he? And he is now up into 10th position. Well, Matt has dropped down to 11th position, and as he's got issues there with the end plate, hasn't he? And now we've got Far Through is in 12th position, and Far Through is near the back of the field. He's a man who likes coming through the field, doesn't he? Far does. He seems to be a comeback specialist, doesn't he? But at the moment, he is currently in 12th position as well, so he's outside the points at the moment. Far for the moment. So can he get himself up into the points as well? Well, at the moment he's all over the back of Matt, then, isn't he? He's coming on the outside of Matt. He's coming on the outside. Matt has the inside then, and as it is at the moment, good stuff indeed. Then, so Matt just keeping his position. Then, lovely stuff indeed. Then Farshot is now 3/10 of a second. He's all over the back of Laggy Racer. Farshot's had a fantastic start, hasn't he? Goodness me, there he's qualified 14th on the grid. There, he is already halved his arrears, hasn't he? He is up into 7th for this already. Fantastic start there from the Haas driver. Both Haas are doing a cracking job at the moment then. In fifth and 7th position, and Laggy Racer is defending at Farshot is through. Farshot is up into 6th position, and good stuff indeed. Then he is up into 6th position. Laggy Racer is jumping down to 7th position, and away he goes. And Farf is past Matt, or has Matt passed Farf? Remember last season, Farf had an incredible overtake here, and Farf is doing some overtaking again. He is free. No, he hasn't done that. Oh, he's damaged the car. Farf has, but he's got on the inside. Farf has got on the inside. Mars in trouble because Farf is on the inside into turn 4. Brilliant stuff indeed then, but look at this, look left, this Mars on the outside then of the Red Bull, the Ferrari, and he is through and still in 11th position there as well. Payne's just left for session now. Payne's just left for session. Where is Payne? He's down in 50th position alone in the Renault there, so both Renault drivers who had a good qualifying performance is having troubles in the race then, and now they're coming over the curbs as well. And look at that, there's Vetzi also trying to come through the field. He's on the hard tires, and Nigel's past Payne's as well. As Payne's, I think, is a ghost at the moment, isn't he? And look at these cars, and Matt's getting defensive end as it comes down to turn 10. Lovely over the show shot from Farford's lead then. Oh, Matt's gone wide then, and that's going to allow Matt into the Farford's off, and he controls the car. Damage there, and I don't think that was damage actually. So those there is damage on the racing point, and that is not good at all then, is it? Oh, from Vesley's point of view then, is he? So he's now going to, so all these cars I think in this battle apart from Brandon, and now as a far shot has gone up into 5th. I wonder if that was a bit of team play there, wasn't it? 3 seconds to gap at the moment. Mumford is we got yellow flag there as Paynes is back in the session. Vesley's off the track there on turn 16 then. Oh dear, Vesley's having a nightmare event here tonight, so he's lost both end plates there. Matt has dropped down into he hasn't, he's run wide there, and now it's Brandon's got on the outside. Look left. Oh my goodness me, Martin and Brandon are very close together, and now he might have the inside. There's banging wheels and but Brandon's, no, and then both in the wall, it's a crash. It was getting very feisty there, and no, it's not good at all. Brandon and Matt both had a race. We have a safety car in this race, and that looked very perilous indeed, didn't it? And that's not good at all. So we've got a safety car now then, and we'll reset. And we'll go from there, shall we? Because that was quite a incredible start to the Spanish Grand Prix, wasn't it? It was well, was I expecting that? Well, probably. You should be expecting anything, really, shouldn't you? Because because to be honest, it's always a crazy race here, isn't it, in ALR? And so into the pits, there comes Grant. So he's in the pits, then straight away. Then is anyone else going to follow Emerson as well? I think that's really it's a very difficult one to judge, isn't it? Whether you want to come in or not. So, but anyway, yeah, all these guys are in the pits. Then Lights, I think, is staying out. So Lights is staying out then, and let's see what he could do then. This is going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? For it's going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? As Lights is now leading the race. Mr. Elite is also stayed out as well. Then Granty coming out of the pits now, and is away then. So wow, oh, gosh, I'm sweating already. Goodness me. So we've got a safety car at the moment then. So we're just going to. Just going to play it out a bit then. Let me see if I can catch up with some of your comments then, because I've been a bit distracted by what's going on, and I think we're all sorry, I'm just trying to catch up at the moment. So there's all this kind of shenanigans that have gone on this race, hasn't it? Really has indeed. Then where do I get up to then? George has said, can I do a podcast, please? I can, but I'm not sure what I could. I'm not sure what I can talk. I suppose I could talk about what really annoyed me the other day. Actually, was Stagecoach busted, so I suppose I could speak about that. We've also got AJ Smith. I can't understand a word this guy is saying. Don't worry, they don't listen. We've also got George saying it doesn't matter. Everything is exciting. No Alonso, no party. Then we've got Darren saying, well, this was bad. Sorry, that was bad. It really was, wasn't it? We've got good for those with wing damage there. And also I would have pitted as well, but well, we've had a couple of people that have pitted. The people that haven't pitted so far then is Lights, Mr. Lee and Sam. Grant has pitted. He's gone on to the medium compound tires at the moment, and his Young Lights is getting very close to the back of the safety car, isn't he? Mr. Elite is second and Sam in third position. Both McLarens haven't pitted yet, have they? Granty has pitted. He's staying on the medium compound tires at the moment, isn't he? But Emerson, Jonathan and Farshaw are all behind him. They're on the hard tires. And Scorpa didn't pit either. He is eighth for this moment on the medium tires. And unfortunately, that's not good, is it? Harry saying Grant on medium tires, Emerson and Cox on hard. There's really throwing a spanner in the works there, isn't it? This is getting very interesting indeed. Farshaw also is pitted as well. Mumford Sale on the medium tires, but he has pitted. We've also got pit lane stoppages for Laggy and also Steve on the hard tires. Farf is on the medium tires then. Nigel on the hard tires, and Tanti, who stayed out. Payne's on the soft tires. Well, I think Payne's has rejoined the session then. Nosey on the hard tires and Fezzi on the soft bed. So that is how it played out then during the safety cars then. And we'll be back out as well as Pure Blades, Sean for Prime Minister. I gotta say, I'll be rubbish as the Prime Minister. I really would there, because to be honest, I'll probably be more interested in playing games, to be honest. So yeah, if you don't agree with what Boris or agreeing with what Boris is doing, I would not be doing a very good job at all then. Anyway then, it's we're just so I've got safety car mode then. Bert Mylander in the safety car is controlling the pace, and when are we going to be released then? I'm back racing then. We're on lap 7 then. The safety car is brought after Brandon and Matt became too embroiled or enraged in their old battle there, aren't they? So really, so I got to say that was very interesting to say Lee said, and I'm not really too sure about that. Mad damage on the wing, didn't he? Which probably compromises turning angle. And Brandon was on the outside, but I'm not sure. But we'll play that one by ear, shall we? Before we make a judge of that one. Young Light safety car is in at the end of this. That is absolutely perfect. That is exactly what we need, isn't it? So safety car's back in. Lights now needs to step on it and get away. Then Mr. Elite and Sam are not going to be his blockers, so to speak, like in the NFL. So he has really got to get on with it as well, isn't he? So Granty's going with it because he's on the medium tires, and I think that's going to throw him definitely on two-stop strategy. It's the hard tires going to get to the end from there. Then that's going to be very much an interesting development, isn't it? I got to say, I don't know much about strategy, to be fair. So yeah, I will. It could be. Oh, Sam's got a 5-second penalty for crashing into the back of his teammate. That's not good at all. Has he damaged the car? I don't think he has. We're now racing. We are back racing. Lights has dropped the hammer down, but oh my goodness me, Mr. Lights is all over the back of it at the moment, isn't he? We're on board, Mr. Lights. We're back racing. Loud Pate then out of front, free then, and then Lights is under a lot of pressure because Mr. Lights is going to go for the lead. He's going to go for the lead, then coming down into turn 1, and then Lights there is going to have the ears right up to the max there, but Lights there has kept the lead then, only just then, but oh, he's gone, he went a bit wide down, and might compromise his exit there. We've also got Mumford getting past the Scorpa, and Scorpa is now down in opposition, and Mumford is flying the flag for Mercedes today, with Williams not having any, only having one driver, and this potentially is going to have Mercedes out in the construction. Laggy Racer is, Steele's going on the outside there, Scorpa defending for Lee's worth, and so Laggy Racer is going to go for the under, and Scorpa defending hard, is defending very hard. Oh my goodness, with that Ferrari of Farfrack steaming up the inside, and it's up to 11th position there. Farfrack very, the driver is not shy, is he? And we're on board then with him. He's 11th position, getting very floaty on the rear there. Scorpa is very much coming a roadblock at the moment, isn't he? Grant has now found his feet. He's 5 tenths second away. Then now Scorpa, Steve, and now we got Farf as well. Oh, there's a flyer up. That's tapped it up in the background. It's Freer Bros going down into turn 9, and Scorpa. Oh, Steve forcing Scorpa off the track there. Oh, it's getting very heavy out there, isn't it? And look at them all. Look at them all. We got a virtual safety car. Tansy is out as well. We lost 3 cars in this race already in this session. Goodness me. Oh gosh, and this is very oh God, look, the score press damaged the end plate. It was getting very interesting as well, wasn't it? Goodness me. Yeah, it was as Brandon's left the session there. Very disappointed with what's going on today with Brandon, I feel. We have also got Scorpio who's coming in the pits, and he'll be in the pits. He will not lose as much time as what he normally does. Tansi's left the session as well. So we've lost 3 retirements in this race. We've lost Brandon, Matt and Tansi all out of this. The Spanish Grand Prix are back racing again then. And Brandon there is Sam has gone wide then. Grant is going to go up and under. He's up and under. He passes Sam and he is through. Brilliant stuff. But Sam made a mistake there coming out of turn 2 and into turn 3, and because of that he's going to he's dropped down to 4th position, and so Granty now in the 3rd position. Emerson and Jonathan are on the hard compound tires, and so is Farshot as well. The strategy, which I got to say, a lot of you probably groan about when you hear the word strategy, but that's half the reason we love racing, isn't it? It's not just about being fast, it's about also having the brains, isn't it, to work the things out. As wow, my goodness me, that was Jonathan getting very Larry in the background there, dipping his wheel onto the gravel, but he was fine, and he's continuing on then, but he's really struggling now, isn't he? Because Farshot is really very interested on the back of Jonathan, isn't he? He's ran slightly wide there, hasn't he? But there he is as well. Then we've also got Ayrton saying that it's Pure Blade saying that you're the man of the people. I would vote for you. People power and all that, isn't it? Oh, it's a fire shot there is getting very cute there, wasn't he? Emerson, Ayrton, I keep getting Emerson and Ayrton mixed up. DR's been enabled then, so here we go. This is where the fun really begins, isn't it? In the background is Mumford, 2.5 seconds away at the moment. Then we've got Ayrton saying I'd vote for Sean. Pure Blade who we would, and Darren saying calm down people. Granty would get jealous. I think he would then. Oh, Sam is off the track in turn 1. Oh no, Sam was out of an incredibly fine race there. But he's just waiting to get back on. Oh my goodness, he knows he just came through as well. What a shame for Sam. Has he damaged the car? No, I'm wondering if he just got on the loud pedal a bit too heavily there, and he spun himself around. But what a shame for Sam. McLaren's having a really good day for points, wasn't he? But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case now. Grant here is all over the back of the McLaren of Mr. Elite, and then we've also got a very good look at this, and this is what we're watching. Oh my goodness me! Lights is 7/10 to a second away at the moment, and as they once again coming down the hill as well. Mr. Elite is second, and Granty is in third position. Well, it's 3/10 to a second as it stands, and as they come out of turn 10 as well. Look at this, he's pushing him, he is pushing him as he's getting a bit wide there, isn't he? And he's going to go up and under, not quite at the moment then, as Mr. Elite there is keeping his position there. Good stuff indeed then. Darren saying Sam was doing such a good job too. Yeah, he really was. What a shame for Sam there. He might need another safety car or something like that then to perhaps get himself back into contention, but he's this is only lap 10. Well, lap 11, we're a third of the way through this race now, so do not count your chickens before they hatch just yet. Anything can happen in this race, and it usually does there. And now we're on board Grant then. Look at this, he's gaining. Is that straight going to be long enough? No, it's not quite at the moment now. Mr. Elite there is also gaining on lights as well, isn't they? Getting very interested there. And Far from Steve is now as Far from going on the inside. Steve, they're going to cut the blows. I think Far is trying to replay his incredible battle last season with Nolte, but that wasn't the case this time as well. Vesey is really causing all kinds of problems for Laggy Racer, who's in 12th position mode, and the Granty has now moved up. He's past Mr. Elite. He is up through. He is into 2nd position. Good 17th then. And I've just missed Vesey and Laggy Racer as well. Now then, as Granty got the pace then, look all the time he's losing now, because look, there's Emerson in the background. We don't think Emerson needs to stop again, as far as I'm concerned then, but anything could happen then. And we're on board at the moment then with Grant at the moment, and Emerson is diving down the inside. He takes first position there. Is Mr. Lee going to go up and under? Not quite, and he is now with the third position. So Emerson back on the roster at the moment. Then so we just got AJ Smith saying, so who are we saying is going to win this one? Then I got to say it's all up in the air, isn't it? Young Lights has not stopped yet, has he? So that's why he's in the race. But he could come back into this race later on in this race. So do not count Young Lights out. Grant is going to have to really put his toe down, isn't he? He's on the medium compound tires, but he needs to stop again, I feel. And we have also got Emerson as well. As look at us, Farf's got through. He's gotten past Steve, and Farf's also got DR as well. The activation zone is just at the end, just before turn 16 then. But Steve then is going to be losing speed then as well. Look at that. That's the Nigel going at the inside. Look at that. Look right. Oh goodness me! And Nigel is through, and he's past Steve, and he has moved up into 9th position. Then Nigel has a good 17th. Then Steve has dropped down to 10th 10th position, but he's trying to go up and under them, and Nigel might have that covered there going into turn 4. Indeed he does then. And there he goes. So Nigel now with the 9th position. Good stuff indeed then. Vesey is in 3rd position. Very uncompetitive this weekend, Vesey is at the moment, isn't he? Which is very unusual. And Granty is really strong in this stage race because Emerson has really got the bit between his teeth as they remember these two are battling for the championship. Emerson and Granty on it. And of course at the moment the gap is about 42 points, give or take, isn't it? As Darren is saying, he thinks Emerson is in the best position to win this. It really is. As AJ Smith is also saying, I agree. Jonathan is catching up too, though. Jonathan is not too far back at the moment, is he? Of course, he lost a bit of momentum when he almost crashed in turn 9, didn't he? Luckily, though, he had the good car control, didn't he, to keep it out of the barrier then. And now we're coming through turn 6 as well. And Lights, Granty, and Emerson. That is the top 3 at the moment. And you'll see the McLaren out flashing through our screen. And Granty is going to have to think about defending, isn't he? Emerson needs to stop it. He needs to stop the momentum. The Granty's going. Granty's had a hat trick of wins so far, and he's going up the inside then as Jonathan's past the Mr. Elite, and now with the 4th position. No, and Jonathan's going to join the party as well now. This is fantastic. And what else did you expect here on a Sunday night in gold? It's absolutely brilliant stuff, isn't it? And now they're coming into turn 4 once again then as well. Then so Lights is leading at the moment then in the Red Bull. But remember, he hasn't stopped yet, so he is a bit of a roadblock then. But now with Emerson on the in the old party, I think that this is definitely going to compromise Granty, and trying to get past Young Lights, isn't it? And Jonathan is now only 1.3 seconds back as well. We're on board at the moment, and as DRS is enabled then for all these guys apart from Lights then. So Lights is definitely going to have to be very much starting to think about getting defensive later on. I think definitely going down that back straight anyway. And look at this hopping over the curves as well. Jonathan in the background once again. That Alfa Romeo there. That Alfa Romeo is going to be very prominent there in the in this race later on down the line. Look at this, and the top 6 positions are got 6 different constructors, and it's brilliant stuff, isn't it? We've got Red Bull, we've got Williams, we've got Mercedes, we've got Alfa. Into the pits comes the Young Lights, and Young Lights has rolled the dice. He's in the pits there with 30 laps to go then, and now Granty is trying to break the slipstream, isn't he? Look at him, he's gone defensive then, and now look at this, he's just weaving from left to right, and he wants to break that slipstream, doesn't he? Emerson on board with the one, and I think he's done a good job so far going down the hill. Look at Fireshot, he's at the inside. That's a very late maneuver. Mr. Lee had to straighten up the steering, didn't he? Farfetch, I'm just 6 minutes. He's having a great race out there, isn't he? Oh, he's got a free second. Oh, just to say that he went on the gravel there. And Farf jumping on the position. I apologise, Farfair. Once again, the curse of the commentator. Now Steve is going to try and go up and under, and Farfair is getting defensive there, isn't he? Well, not too defensive actually, is he? Just held his line there beautifully indeed then. And as now is I think we had Glock in the comment section as well then. Obviously having a look there at Paynes there. Paynes there was on the soft tires, the only man on the soft tires as it stands at the moment then. So Granty is leading them, but it said 7 tenths a second then. I think as Vesey is through, he's past Paynes, and he is snuck through in turn 7. Good stuff there from Vesey, nicely done indeed then. And now he's going to turn 9 as well, and we're on board then with Vesey then, and getting out of turn 9 then. Good stuff indeed then. And this is probably the closest battle on track, of course, apart from the battle for the lead and also the battle for 4th and 5th position as well, but we expect Mr. Elite there to drop down slightly as well. Sam is still on track then, so even though he did spin, he is staying with the same strategy as his McLaren teammate, but unfortunately that's where he should be at the moment, Sam, as he spun out of 3rd position, didn't he? And unfortunately that's why he's so far back at the moment. Granty has set the fastest lap of the race set at this moment, and Mr. Elite is in the pit set as Emerson. I think now that Granty needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining. He probably wants to be a bit further down the road than what actually is. Nigel once again then is making in the race there, is really making up the places in qualifying is where he really struggles, isn't it? As he goes into turn 1 as well. Nolte is through and past Laggy Racer, and he's up into 10th position. Nolte is back in the points then for the Renault F1 team. Good stuff indeed then. Lights is also in a 12th position then. So Lights is going to the end, and he will be on the Sam's in the pits as well then for the McLaren team. I don't think the McLaren team are ready. He also has to change the nose cone on that McLaren end. Now they're ready, and you can see that's a big delay for Sam. It's all going wrong, isn't it? And I've voiced in Scorpio going across the ground drop then. Mumford then is a drop down to 6th position, but Mumford's still doing a good job at the moment, isn't he? Glock saying, when can I get a go at racing these guys next this season then? Nosey got me in before. And we've also got Darren saying, you're bang Glock, you're going to silver, mate. I have a feeling that won't end well. And we've also got Darren saying, nice to see Mumford getting into a good position. Really good stuff indeed from Mumford, actually. He's on a fantastic day today, isn't he, in the Mercedes there. And this is good stuff for Mercedes. Remember, the battle for the constructors is very much heating up, isn't it? So it's so you need both drivers, don't you, at the moment. Unfortunately, Williams don't have a second driver here tonight, which might be curtailing Williams' march to the constructors. But at the moment, it's not looking too bad at the moment, with Granty leading this race as it stands. But yeah, I wouldn't. We've still got a long way to go. We're only on lap 16. We're just about coming up to half distance in this race. So yeah, this is we got a very long way to go in this race. So anything could happen still in this in ALR, and it usually does, doesn't it? So yeah, no, we're just keeping on the front runners at the moment. We've got a very close battle between Vesley and Vesley and Steve in the battle for 8th for 9th position. Then Vesley there is still behind Steve currently though, and so if I've just knocked off the old stream on my phone then, so I ain't gonna be able to read your comments out, which is a shame. Jake Wilson, what have I got tomorrow with no silver there? Jake Wilson very much missing the silver, isn't he? And Darren is saying same Jake, not fair there. Unfortunately, because we was meant to have a week off from ALR, wasn't we? But of course, with Codemasters not letting us race when we should have done in Spain, and then of course and that's why Silver ain't got a race tomorrow. This is kind of like a rescheduled race, isn't it? On board there with Vez at the moment, and Granty's going to go for 4 race wins in a row, isn't he? He's absolutely fantastic, isn't he? Brilliant stuff from Granty once again. He's absolutely on fine vessel at the moment, isn't he? But Emerson is still 4/10 of a second back, 4/10 of a second back, and he's really starting to gain again. Granty is weaving from left to right, isn't he? Of course, Hamilton did that. Then he's going for the lead there too, and that's an incredible overtake there from Emerson. He passes Granty, and all Granty there is almost heads to the back of there. But great something. Farfus got past Mumford as well in the background and down the back straight, and look at this, and Granty's on the outside. Look left, Granty's on the outside. Incredible battle between the two championship leaders. Impressive stuff indeed then. But Granty is back up into the lead then. Brilliant stuff there from the Williams driver. But Emerson is not giving up, and there's no DRS zone coming after turn 9, and there's 3 more corners to go before that DRS is coming. Emerson needs to keep very close to the back room coming out this turn here. The very fast right-hander on board with the Mercedes once again, and look at the wash there. Oh, I thought I thought there was a bit of light going on there, wasn't it? And now then, as he's on the inside once again, he passes Granty, but he's got to go more because Granty's got to go backing up and under. This is what you want to see. Emerson, Emerson's running out of time now, isn't it? We've only 5 races to go, including this one, and Granty has really got one finger on that title, hasn't he, at the moment there? So Emerson needs to strike whilst the iron's hot, doesn't he? And this is, oh goodness me, he's pushing him out of the chicane then. Jonathan is 2.1 seconds back as we come through to complete another lap. Then this is going to be a longer race. We're over half distance now here in Spain then, and Granty there once again is weaving from left to right, isn't he? He's trying to break the slipstream now. Jonathan and Farshot just keeping tabs, and now Emerson's going to be alongside him. Emerson is through. He takes the lead once again then, a much more controlled overtake this time around then, and I don't think Granty could have an answer to that then, so I'm wondering then, is Granty going to come into the pit set and change onto those hard tires, or is he going to go for well, he can't go for the medium tires again, can he? So Granty's a bit in no man's land here, isn't he? Because he can't go to. I'm not sure how long the soft tires go for. They surely won't go from here, will they? I wonder if he's going to throw on a set of medium tires. As Darren has just said, I don't think those hard tires will last until the end. Then, oh goodness me, then that might be very interesting indeed. Then Darren also saying great join as well. Chris saying Granty going for a soft tire last sprint. I can't see mediums. Can't see the mediums lasting. We've also got it's 44. Hey, and now they're coming down the back straight once again. And look in the background there, Jonathan is now only 1.8 seconds away then. It's a very close battle, a very close race at the moment, isn't it? We've still got 16 cars left out of the 19 who started then. We lost 2 drivers then, Brandon and Matt there. A violent old shunt there. We also lost Tans as well, who that was an absolutely horrific shunt there in turn 9 as well. And so we have lost 3 drivers then. We've got 16 cars remaining then. Lap 18 out of 33 then. And Granty is in the pits then. So he's coming in the pits then, and I think he's going to have to go on the hard tyres from here then. The only difference is Emerson sets the fast out of the race then. So this is a day then that Emerson can really reduce the rear set. Granty is in the pits then for the Williams team then. He's just waiting for those Williams mechanics then to get to work then, and to throw on a set of what tires he's going to throw on then. That is going to be the that's going to be the question, isn't it? So he is on the hard tires and he's in and out, and he shakes it all about then. So yep, he's out of the pits now then, and he is out of the points at the moment. He's going to get in front of Laggy Racer. Laggy Racer is coming down the back straight with some velocity, and look who's in the background. That's Young Knights, who's on the hard tires, also going to the end then. So the race might come back to these guys later on then, and I think that's a very interesting comment there from Darren now. Oh, of course the hard tires are not going to last to the end then, are they, for the guys who've still on hard tires in the the first safety car set. So this is going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? So so Granty should have the pace advantage at this stage of the race, shouldn't he? Because he should be on the fresh medium tires then. Granty got to go hard, he's got to go, he's got to change compound. Yes, he does, unfortunately. Granty's had used 2 sets of medium tires then, and so he's had to go for the hard. The soft tires will not last to the end then. I can definitely bet my bottom dollar on that then. Laggy Racer getting very wide then, isn't he? Laggy Racer is also doing the same strategy as the guys who are in the top 4 at the moment as well. Vesey is now just 0.5 of a second back at one end. We're just watching a Lights there, who has also got a 3-second penalty, hasn't he, for cutting the chicane now, hasn't he? So so Lights there get a 3-second penalty. These penalties could really make or break your race, isn't it? Into the pits there comes Mumford and Farfet. Then they've done a similar strategy to what Grant did then. So then are changing onto the hard tires. Farfet's on the medium tires then. So Farfet figures now should be going to the end on those medium compound tires. So he will have a very good pace advantage there coming to the end. And look at this, and Laggy Racer getting defensive and over Young Lights at the moment then. And they're coming down into turn 1 and 2 then. But at the moment then, Laggy is still very much in 9th position at the moment then, with Young Lights in 10th position. And this is going to be very interesting. Yellow flag in 3. Yellow flag in 3 then. I'm not sure who it was, to be honest. I was just having a look there. The yellow flag went quite quickly, so someone just ran wide then. Laggy running very wide there as well. As he was drifting off into no man's land there, wasn't he? And but Laggy Racer still in the prime position then. Granted, and that was very critical for Granted to get in front of Laggy Racer, because look at how much time he's lost there. Laggy Racer is not a slow drive by any stretch of the imagination, but those tyres are well past their best, I feel. Well, they probably aren't actually, are they? But then there's a Lights there. Great car control from Young Lights there. Having to turn into that slide there. He was going to go off then. Darren saying Emerson could go to medium tyres now. Yes, he can he there? So this race, as we said in the pre-show, in the qualifying show, it was definitely very much about the as into the pits. There comes Nigel. So Nigel's rolling the dice, so I think he heard Darren, and he's going to go on to the medium tyres there, isn't he? Also in the pits is Steve as well, and as I said, it's a very much a strategy-driven race around here, isn't it? And we've also got Knowles in the pits as well. Young Lights is really struggling, isn't he? He's starting on these hard tyres. Grant is at the fast half of the race there, really throwing the gauntlet down straight away. Then who is going to respond to that then? And I think that, so that's going to be very interesting. Nigel coming out of the pits then on the medium tires, so is Steve, and so is Knowlesy as well. Farfree was just rolled the dice, and Farfree's doing having a very strong race, isn't he? And he's now back up in the 10th position as well. Mumford also popping through as well, and I wonder if Mumford might be regretting going on to, well, I think the Mumford is in the same boat as Granty, wasn't he, in terms of what strategies he was locked into. Granty's got a 7-second gap now over the next car, which is Vesley, who's on the medium tires, and I think he'll be coming into the pits momentarily as well. So I think Vesley started on the hard tyres, didn't he? So he's going on to the medium tyres, and he's going to have another set of medium tyres. So Vesley will also be very quick towards the end of this race as well. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's one of the Haas's. It is one of the Haas's. Steve's had a problem, and Steve is out of the race then. Oh no, he's not quite, but he's buried into Tech Pro. We have a virtual safety car, and now is anyone going to roll the dice then? Is Vesley going to roll the dice? It's Farshot is through, but past the pit lane now. Then remember, you do not use up as much time as you normally do. And into the pits then comes Vesley then. So Vesley's in the pits, and he'll be probably going on to the medium tyre once again. He has to slow down to 80 kilometers an hour then. So Vesley there is definitely might be a big benefactor in this race as well. And as I quickly catch up then, on the old comments there, Emerson's going to go to medium tyres. I wouldn't bet against another safety car either there from Glock there. A possible sprint finish if it's late enough for the soft tyres. True, and of course I think that's a very good point as well, isn't it? And the safety car would definitely much open up the strategy of calls very much there in this race. Drive-through penalty for Knowles there for speeding under the safety car. A bit too keen there to get away, I think. We're 2/3 of the way through this race now then. On lap 22 out of 33, you've got 11 to go. 11 to go in this fine race as well. Look at that. Look at how much time Vesley has pulled, and he is in front of Nigel, in front of Farfair. That's the benefit of coming into the pits under the virtual safety car. And now then, it's got another yellow flag as Scorpio's retired from the race then, and I'm not sure if he's retired coming in the pits, has he? Possibly. And that's my number 2 goal as well, of course, emulating my hero, David Coulthard. So of course, so that just shows even the best of us could crash in the pit. Yeah, he has. He's crashed coming in the pits. Scorpa has. I was calling him Skeppa for some reason, and not like a rapper. But unfortunately, he is out of the race. Emerson is now leading this race out. Well, he was in the race anyway. Jonathan second, but Farshot is having an inspired drive once again. The second half of the season, he's been absolutely magnificent, hasn't he? Granty is 15 seconds away then, so he has got a He's got about 20-second deficit to himself and Emerson then, and that graph's going to just continue to close and close then. This is going to be very, very, this is going to be a great end to the race, isn't it? Lovely shot here for the nose cone of the racing point as he comes through the final turn once again then, and he is going to DRS it wide open now. It's also, we've got Nosey on the back of Mumford on a very strong drive, but he is now on he's on a slower tyre at this stage of the race then. Nigel is gaining once again then, he's having a look then, but Vesey there closes the door. As Nolte's in the pits then, and I'm not sure what's happened there. We've seen Steve recovering. I wonder if Nolte and Steve have come to blows then. And no, yeah, sorry, Knowles, I just once again then I'm hypothesising, and I really shouldn't be, should I? So I apologise to Knowles there for accusing him of causing the collision. He has just got a drive-through penalty there for the virtual safety car incident. And so Nolte down in 12th position at the moment, not in the points then. Laggy Racer is now coming. This race has come back to Laggy Racer in the Alfa Romeo. He's only 3/10 of a second away from Mumford. Unfortunately, Mumford was stuck between a rock and a hard place, wasn't he? And now he's slightly on the back foot. And Granty is very much the measuring stick at ALR Gold at the moment, isn't he? He's a defending champion. He is leading the championship. He is now 14.9 seconds away from Fireshot. He needs to make hay, doesn't he? And he is now about 19 seconds behind Emerson then, with 9 laps to go. Is Emerson, well, 9 laps to go then. Is Emerson going to stay out then? Because that's about 19 seconds then. Granty needs to be absolutely flying, doesn't he? To catch him up then before the end of the race. And I might just be I'm sorry, I just read a funny comment. Now we're coming through once again. Vesey set the fast out of the race, and he is starting to very much find his feet on these medium tyres. And Nigel wants to go by his teammate though, because he's the quicker racing point at the moment. And I thought he was going to have a little sniff going into turn 1, but not quite at the moment, not quite. Laggy Racer is having more than a sniffer. He is through. He is over to the left. He passes Mumford and in the top 10 then. And currently, from a Mercedes point of view, then Mercedes are gaining on Williams and the constructors at the moment there by I think it's about 12 points, something like that, isn't it? And that just shows my poor maths once again. But I think Mercedes wanted 2 cars to score in the points at the moment, and they're not doing so, are they? No, that's very much, it's difficult, isn't it, to be in a top team battling for the constructors, isn't it? And you want both cars really flying the flag there. Alfa Romeo, Nigel there, hand to correct that slide there, turns to a slide there, and he almost went in the gravel there. That would have been very painful from Nigel's point of view, because Farf would have got by in 9th position in that Ferrari there. I think that virtual safety car probably hurt Farf as well, actually, because I feel he was in a much better position before that virtual safety car come out. Look in the foreground there, that's Mr. Elite. He's done 9 laps on those hard tyres. I don't expect him to come in the pit, same with Young Lights and Grant as well, but yeah, he's done 9 laps on those hard tyres. Mr. Elite probably forward and back now, but he's on a strong race nonetheless in 6th position. Good stuff indeed there. Fireshot is gaining on Jonathan, but it's not enough at the moment, is it? He's battling for 2nd and 3rd position. Emerson is still 6.2 seconds away, and Granty is 15.1. He's not gaining at the moment, is he? So at the moment, Emerson goes very much in the box seats, isn't he now? As those hard tyres are keeping up very well. No, firstly going up the inside of Mr. Elite there. Very much a very late pass there as well. As I've completely forgotten which racer point was in front there. I even got the names wrong, goodness me then. And now they're coming out of turn 4 as well. Then he's got up the inside. He's passed the McLaren, or is he? Yellow flag is fluttering in 3. What's going on in 3 then? I'm having a look there. I can't see anyone who's having troubles. And now in the race, and he's going on the outside, but Mr. Elite there has got the racer line there. He's going to go over and the brilliant stuff there. And now Vesey will have the inside into turn at number 7. He does. He passes and he is through and up into 6th position there. Good stuff indeed there. Mr. Elite drumming down 7 now. Young Payne has set the fast lap of the race there in the Renault there, but he's not going to get that point at the moment because he's outside the top 10. As Nigel having a look then, as into the pits there comes the race leader. Emerson is in the pits then. Farshot and Jonathan continue. I wonder if they're going to take a gamble now and come out. I'm wondering if Emerson might have should take a gamble as well, but it's very much like Kimi Räikkönen back in the European race, wasn't it? Whether it was worth to take the gamble or not then. Emerson, this has worked out beautifully well for Emerson. Granty's strategy might have been I think the Granty strategy of going on to the medium tyres might have cost him today, but he is now in 4th position, isn't he? Emerson's come on just in front of him. Emerson is finally could be taking points off Granty in this race, and he has now got a few laps under his belt to really try and agree and try and maximise the pointage here in this race. Is Jonathan and Fireshot going to come in, or are they going to stay out there? That is going to be interesting indeed. Then, and it's now. I think if I was them two, I would stay out and just throw the let him just roll the dice there. Nigel has passed the McLaren and moved up into 7th position. Good stuff indeed there for Nigel then. Brilliant stuff indeed, actually, as you can see he's going and trying to go up and under of his teammate Vesey, but not currently at the moment then. Mr. Elite then is really strong at this stage of the race and looking far from the background. He's a shark that smells blood in the water, doesn't he? And Mr. Elite there's done 11 laps on these hard tyres, and it's going to be falling backwards. The next target for both these racing points is the Young Knights in 5th position at the moment then as well. Then I think the front two have not going in the pits, so I think that this is very much a game time, isn't it? Really is, because I think that they're either going to have to come in the pits now or not come in the pits at all. As Darren saying, a great call by Emo. It really is a great call, isn't it? As he has stayed out on the soft tyres, hasn't he? And brilliant call indeed then. So well, we'll find out if it's a brilliant call because he's lost the lead, hasn't he, at the moment? But wondering if he I think he will have the pace advantage surely then of trying to get back into the lead of this race, and potentially. But Farshot and Jonathan not slouches, are they? That gap hasn't come down as quickly as what I thought it may be, but now Emerson's really starting to make headway, isn't he? Farf is now up into 8th position, passes Mr. Elite, and he is now on course for some points. And Farf had a really miserable middle stint of the season, didn't he? But all of a sudden, the last couple of races, he's really started to get some points in the bag now, isn't he, for the Ferrari team? Good stuff indeed. Farshot is now out of the DR, son of Jonathan, isn't he? And I wonder if he's just dropping back there just to cool the car down a bit there. And just go for another attack in front as well. 27 out of 33. This is going to be a grandstand finish, isn't it? Really is, and indeed then Granty there is at the moment this is looking very unlikely that he's going to go for the 4th race win in a row, isn't it? Who is going to ring? I don't know. Who are you going to ring? Who is going to win? Is it going to be Jonathan? Is it going to be Farshot? Is it going to be Emerson? This is very much all up in the air still, and I'm loving it. And this is going to be very much a squeaky bum time for all these drivers out there, isn't it? As we come into the twilight of this race, as we come into the twilight of this championship, Emerson's got an extra bonus point, hasn't he, for that fastest lap then. Good stuff indeed for Emerson, and that is an extra 4 points now. He is taking off Emerson, and well, for Grant, which will be down to 42 as it stands to it, but I don't think the classification is going to finish that way. I don't think. Jonathan is currently leading this race at the moment. He hasn't won a race in the ALR Gold for a very long time. I think the last time he won a race, actually, I don't think he hasn't won a race at all this season, has he? I'm sure the last race he won was back in Hungary. Was it season 2 perhaps then? I might be wrong about that one. If I am, I apologise. But yeah, Jonathan, of course, he probably should have won the Hungary Grand Prix this year. But unfortunately, the first lap instance really curtailed his progress, didn't he? Now then, we're still watching the racing points. They're the closest battle on track. But Mr. Lee doing a good job actually to keep on the back of Farf. Laggy Racer is 9 seconds away then in 10th position. Then Mumford is in 11th position. He's 4 seconds away from Laggy. And Nolte in 12th position there. Sam in 13th. Sam would have been getting some major points today if he didn't have that spin in turn 1, unfortunately. Oh, as Nigel had to correct the car there. It got very floaty, didn't it, underneath him there, and he had to correct the car there. And now, so Nigel has unfortunately now dropped away from his teammate Vesey at the moment then. We've got 4 laps to go in this race then, and I'm wondering if Emerson might be regretting that decision to come in the pits there on those hard tyres there, because he's going to have to be lightning, isn't he? And remember, he has to also pass Farshot, and Farshot is not a it's not the easiest car to pass, is he? With 1.5 seconds at the moment, the gap between Jonathan and Farshot. Jonathan having an almighty incredible race out there today, isn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed then, with a Farshot in 2nd position, and Emerson is in 37.2 seconds back at the moment. Granty in 4th position. He's dropping off the back now, isn't he? Remember, it also comes down to penalties as well. Lights is in 5th position. He's in no man's land at the moment, but he's got 2 very fast racing points there, really trying to reel him in there, as the gap isn't really coming down too much, is it? Then we got Farf from Mr. Lee in 8th and 9th position there. Mr. Lee doing a cracking job actually of keeping up with Farf. 10th position is Laggy Racer, who's all on his lonesome, where with Mumford in 11th, 12th is Nolte, Sam in 13th position, and Payne's in 14th position. Retirement. Scorpio retired when he was trying to come in the pits. Steve unfortunately crashed out after some issues there at that turn there. We also lost Tansy there, a big old smash in turn 9, and we lost Matt and Brandon as well. Sorry, Payne's in the pits then. This is so this is Jonathan leading second. He's down 2 seconds in front. Jonathan is starting to really pull away now, isn't he, in the final stage of the race? Lap 30 out of 33 then. Oh goodness me, then this is going to be a cracking end then to what has been a cracking race, hasn't it? Very much. This is a very important day for the championship at the moment, isn't it? Emerson is currently only taking 4 points out of Grant. He needs to take more than that, doesn't he? Out of the pits comes Payne. Said he's only done 6 laps on those soft tires. I'm wondering if these soft tires ain't going to last more than 6 laps. And if that's the case, Grant has still very much got Emerson just about in his line of sight, hasn't he? But Emerson has just got to beat Granty. It's smart of him there. We've also got Glock saying love Emerson's helmet design. It's a cracking helmet design, isn't it? Emerson has been using the Ayrton Senna helmet actually for much of the season. I think he changed it after the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's a beautiful helmet design, isn't it? When you're on board with it, it doesn't feel like very much a 2018 kind of spec helmet, doesn't it? From Hamilton when he was I think he wore a special red design, didn't he, one time? I think it was just after he won the championship, possibly. Or am I making that up? I don't know, but yeah, I think that it's a cracking helmet design. Yeah, going back to the debate about but yeah, he's just got to beat Granty. But at the moment, then with only 4 races to go after this round, there only 104 points are up for grabs, then, and he is only in the gap at the moment. Would be 42 points still, which is a mammoth gap to reel in there. With only 4 races to go, so Emerson there, but Emerson there still keeping on it, isn't he? He's still got to keep the attacking mode on, hasn't he? He needs to get past Far Shot, I think, at least there to have some kind of positive day. Yes, George, I'm feeling a very negative Pete at the moment, ain't I? Really, I'm there. Yeah, Glock saying the USA Special Edition from 2018. Indeed, and of course, Jonathan is off the track. Jonathan is off the track. Fire Shot's taking the lead. Jonathan has had a problem. Oh no, Jonathan from the lead of this race. And he's got a puncture. 25 laps on the hard tires, and I think that Darren is absolutely on the money. Serious mushroom is. Punctures, we're in puncture territory, and Jonathan, what a shame there. Oh, Jonathan was on a great race, a spectacular race, but the puncture is really going to hurt now. And now Fire Shot, then I'm wondering if fast one Fire Shot has really started to drop off in terms of the pace set. And now that we've got 2.7 seconds, I think Jonathan is for the yellow flag is for the Alfa Romeo, and Farf is going to go through as well. What a shame there for the British Italian driver. He was on a fantastic race. It's all gone wrong there for Jonathan. My goodness me. What is going on there? Oh man, Farshot is going to be in the same region as Jonathan. I wonder if he's looked after his tyres more, perhaps, but he's still going to he is still going to have to he's still going to have about 3 laps to go, isn't he? He's coming on to the second to last lap. Now we could have a lead change on the fastest on the last lap. And there it is. It's 1.5 seconds. And Jonathan there is dropping down the order. Then Fire Shot that was really dropping off the pace, wasn't he? I wonder if he was just trying to look after those tyres. Darren saying Jonathan's bad luck strikes again. Unfortunately, it does there, doesn't it? And Jonathan is down out of the points now as well. Mumford is now in the points there. What a shame for Jonathan. I think this is all, I thought there was a punch there on Fire Shot then, but I think he's really struggling, isn't he? Fire Shot is, look at this, and look at how much time that Emerson has gained over him. And just taking a look there, there's you see Fire Shot is really struggling, isn't he? He is very much struggling. Those tyres are well past their best. He's done 26 laps on him. And look at this, and I think it might be a foregone conclusion that we're on board then, as Fire Shot is less than a lap away. He was a lap away from winning it, and Emerson goes over and under, and he takes the lead then at the Spanish Grand Prix. Fire Shot, remember these two came to blows to that one. Look at this, Fire Shot is not giving up, is he? This is the battle for the lead here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Fire Shot is, and Jonathan's retired from the race then. What a shame now for Jonathan. What a shame indeed then. Fire Shot is 1 lap away. He's got to defend for all he's worth for. He wants to win this Spanish Grand Prix. Fire Shot, this will be Fire Shot's 2nd race win of his career. And Fire Shot just is still in front at the moment. Last lap, but look at this, and Fire Shot's going to defend it. Fire Shot's parts in the building, but Emerson's going to go on the outside. Emerson, he's got DRS, he's got hers. He takes the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix then, and Jonathan's car going on the pitch. What a shame. Emerson leads this race then. Granty is now 4 seconds away then. On the last lap, we've had a change for the lead then. Brilliant stuff for Emerson. He's now gaining. That's what he wants to do. He now has a good old point swing over Granty of 11 points then, and that is what he needs then, isn't it? That'll be down to 35 points in the championship. And so we've just 4 rounds to go then. But Granty there is very much on the hard charge, isn't he? In the final stages of this incredible Spanish Grand Prix. We've had to wait a couple of weeks for this one, 3 weeks extra for this Spanish race, but it's been fantastic, hasn't it? Really well done indeed from everyone out there. What a shame for Jonathan. He was just 2 laps away from an absolutely spectacular race, and he's just oh damn it there from Jonathan there, as he is very disappointed about that, isn't he? He is gutted, isn't he? And those tyres were just 2 laps away, was there? If that safety car came out like 2 laps later, then perhaps it would have been a completely different race, and we could have had Jonathan win this first race of the season. We could have had Fireshot winning this first race of the season there. But it's Emerson who will be winning his 4th race of the season. I believe it is his 4th race. Emerson wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. Fireshot in 2nd there. A mammoth 28 laps on those hard tyres. Good stuff indeed there. Granty is in 3rd position now, so he's still on the podium there. Lights is coming through in 4th position, and yeah, Jonathan saying Kimi Räikkönen part 2 there. Yeah, so close, wasn't he? Lights in 4th there. No, yeah, Wesley in a very good 4th position actually. It was not looking very good for Wesley, but that virtual safety car really helped him. Nigel in 6th position, 5th, 7th, Mr. Lee in 8th then. 9th position will be Laggy on his return then, so couple of points there for Laggy then. Good stuff indeed then. Mumford will be in 10th position. Knowlesy is got a problem there, and he's down in 12th position there. So Nosey is having issues as well. Sam is going to be up into 11th position as well then. So good stuff indeed then. Wow, what an end to the race that was. That was fantastic, wasn't it? And Jonathan saying he had no warnings, no penalties, and then that happened. What a shame then. It really is said indeed then. It's Emerson saying, get in there. His 4th race win of the season, and brilliant stuff for Emerson. That is what he needed. That is what Emerson needed, wasn't it? So I think that's his 1st race win since the German Grand Prix, round 9. It's been round 9 was the last time. When we're on round, technically round 18 now. So that's almost half the season. It's his last one. But this time Emerson is back on the roster, back winning the race. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Payne saying his whole race was a shambles there. As a Laggy racer, very happy with his race as well. He's getting in the points there. Fantastic stuff there. Fireshot's best race of the season, I would say, and very much a lap away from winning his 1st race since the, I think it was the French Grand Prix he won, wasn't it? As his alternative personality is Baffel. Anyway then, so Emerson back on top of the podium then, with Granty finishing third then. I think that's an 11-point swing there, isn't it, at the moment then? So that's what Emerson needed then. And I think that Darren said a very good call for Emerson. It really was. It was a race-winning call in the end then, perhaps said. In the end then of that then, so Granty's, so Emerson's 2 pit stop strategy, won the race there. 2nd was a Fireshot, then great race for Fireshot. 3rd position was Granty. 4th position was Vesey, cracking stuff there. Lights in 5th with Nigel in 6th, then 7th, Mr. Elite Fate, Laggy on his return in 9th, Mumford in 10th, then Knowlesy in 11th position there. 12th position is Sam, and Payne's in 13th position. Retirements Jonathan, Scorpa, Steve, Tansy, Matt and Brandon all retired from this incredible Spanish Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And the winners have joined me in the Eau de Gantry now, and we're just going to have a bit of a natter, shall we? Let's start off with the man who has won his 1st race since the German Grand Prix. Emerson, it's been a long time since you last won a race, about 9 races. How is it feeling?
I think this is probably up there one of my best wins. I mean, the safety car helped me out a lot, especially the fact that Granty didn't go onto the hards instead of the mediums, and I managed to keep up with him on the hards. And then obviously when he came in, I somehow managed to get out ahead of him. And then yeah, I mean the softs at the end, I was regretting coming in, and I thought staying out was the right thing to do. But then I was gaining on Fireshot and. Knowlesy, no, not Knowlesy, what one about? Jonathan about like 4 seconds a lap, and then as soon as I saw Jonathan's tyres go and he got a puncture, I was like, oh, this is right in the bag, and then I just bided my time with that last overtake because I still had a lap and I didn't want to rush it and crash. But yeah, it's a really good race.
It really was as well, but we have to focus on what everyone is driving for, and that's the championship at the moment. I think, give or take, you're about 35 points then behind Granty now with 4 races to go, about 104 points up for grabs then. It is still a mammoth mountain to climb, but today's race could be pivotal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's still 4 races to go. Anything can happen. 1 DNF and a race victory, and I'm right back in it. So, got to keep on going. get the few points here and there where I can, like today, especially with the fastest lap. That's 1 extra point there. But yeah, still on.
Indeed it is. Fantastic stuff, Emerson. Fireshot, what a race from you. I'd say that's your best race of the season so far, and you was just 1 lap away from winning it. But was you very concerned at the end when Jonathan had a puncture?
Well, I knew he was like using his tyre wear very fast, like aggressively, because he was like going wide all the time at like start with the hards and a bit of the end. And I was just like trying to keep up with him, just maintaining DRS. And eventually he popped his tyre, which I already expected.
Yeah, because I did make a quick observation in the Oda gantry about you were dropping off behind Jonathan. He was 2 seconds behind when his puncher came out. Was that because he was now looking after the tyres, reducing the slip angle, reducing the steering angle to make sure you don't go through the tyre wear?
Yeah, I was watching the tyres there when it was hitting 80%, which is like the puncture zone. I was like trying to go a bit slower. Also one of the reasons why Emerson came so quickly with it.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. And just a final question then. You're now up to 5th in the standings then. How are you reviewing your season overall up to this point? Are you happy about it? Are you disappointed about it?
Shit.
Lovely. Granty, I'm down to you as well. Today you got pole position again then. You was on course for 4 race wins in a row then. But that safety car seems to curtailed you there. Are you regretting your decision?
I wasn't really regretting it, to be fair. Well, I listened to Jeff and I thought it was the right move, but obviously this time it wasn't. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. I'm pretty good about that.
Yeah, it was such a shame in the end as well. But overall, though, you are still leading the championship by a fair size 35 points then. So going on to USA in a week's time. How are you feeling for that one?
Yeah, very confident. Yeah, got good race pace on that again. So just, well, that's what Emerson said, just bring on the race and see what happens. Hopefully I can, I don't know, keep up with the qualifying is what I'm doing so far. And yeah, just going ahead with it.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you all you guys. They absolutely fantastic stuff. Brilliant race, as I always said. It was won on the last lap by Emerson. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Join us on Tuesday, not Monday, because Silver is taking a week off then, as they're deciding to just have a lazy day. So it is Bronze, which will be on Tuesday, and we are going to the home of British Motorsport. We are going to the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. See you on Tuesday at 7:30. Goodbye.